on my panic, whenever that is, like what, 6 weeks, it's built into, because I always do, it's built into settings in OBS, and then it'll say retrieve key. And as soon as I hit that, it takes us to Restream. Restream just drops it. I get this like a security authentication. So once I do that and sign us in, it puts it back on there. Now live on your YouTube channel? Did y'all get that Gmail notification?
Negative.
Oh, shit. Now live on your YouTube channel. I guess if we're all at work in the middle of the day, we get that email, someone needs to look into it. Someone needs to check it out.
The fuck? Why is my PlayStation app not working?
I had to update mine. There was an update they pushed. It kept crashing on me until I installed the update.
It apparently updated yesterday. For me.
Did they add anything?
And I do not know.
Yeah, I'm at the front door of the app, and it just keeps saying sign in. I click sign in, it gives me a little circle and kicks me back out to the...
Yes, that's my life with PlayStation app. I've been living this life forever.
Well,
unless there's something wrong with the PlayStation Network. What are you trying to do? I'm in my app.
That's me, Brant. That's me, Brant. I'm there.
Yeah,
yes,
that's...
I do this. This is me when I'm trying to unauthenticate one of my PS3s. It's like, no.
Let me just see.
What happens if I hit let's go? Okay, let's go is not really an option.
No, it's not.
Nor is sign in. I'm glad it broke for all of us.
Is it working for you, Cesar?
No, mine's working. Once I updated, I was good.
I'm gonna uninstall it.
Mine looked like it was updated. Like it had the little blue thing next to it.
Yeah, mine said it updated yesterday, so.
Broken shit.
They may be having issues because I'm trying to go to my PlayStation Store and it goes, well, that didn't work. Everything else is working.
Weird.
To down detector we go. Has anybody gotten the go live notification yet?
I have not. Everything's down.
Either. It's not good. All right. We're going to talk about hackers. Did somebody get the two things we do? Twitch says we're online, but it's doing this like weird pulsing thing.
We're having that issue where one of those VTubers I followed last year when Google went down and everything, they were still streaming, and they were the only ones left. And they were like, she was wondering why everybody was watching her stream because she was the only one that was live. She was live when it went down.
I got the notification.
She kept going.
Oh man, why can't that be us? You got it, Brant?
Yeah, I just got that.
Yeah.
Come on.
It just
went.
Yep, there it is. Cesar says clothing is required.
Yeah.
Why do we get it 2 minutes in? I guess that's why most places have like lead in stuff.
She was live when it went down. I got she kept going.
Oh man, why can't that be us? You got it, Brant? Drive the traffic.
I was laughing because she was like, "Why isn't everybody following my stream?"
How did I get so many people? I'm not this good.
She's a Japanese,
it's like me when I go on
Well, she's a Japanese VTuber, so everything was in Japanese, so she was getting everybody around the world.
It's me when I go on a Halo kill streak. I start apologizing to people. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm not this good. I swear. I'm just fucking around. You got in my way, and I had a gun.
Access denied.
On PlayStation?
You don't have permission to access.
Or to view our Twitch.
ca.account.sony.com.
CA? You have a Canadian account you sign up for?
I have no freaking clue what the hell's going on with this.
How far away are you going to?
There must be something going on with their server or something for this app. And if you look on the reviews, like everything
Broken.
from 2.7 is, yeah, it's garbage, 1 star, yeah, like something about the update fucking up the app. So
brilliant.
No, you're not the only one because apparently I'm looking at the last 24 hours and it did 54. There's a red spike that goes up like 4,000 people just had PlayStation Network problems. Yeah, on the down protector.
Yeah.
It's the most reported problems: the social sign-in and game. Only 12% are having issues with gameplay.
Weird.
36% of people are having issues with sign-in, and somebody's on here is not working.
So if something's gonna go down, let it be the app.
Yeah.
And then,
let it not be.
And somebody's doing Rick Astley in here, never going to give you up, never going to let you down.
I just love about this app. It just says connect, discover, control, and then like we can't even do the first part. We can't even fucking connect. I can't connect, discover, or control shit if your app doesn't work.
I shouldn't have been in the middle of drinking of that bit.
Now, according to the official PlayStation one, they're all green, but the unofficial one is downdetector.com. It says all red.
Yeah, of course. Down Detector is the true one. We know this. Go to Down Detector. Oh, God. Okay, all I know out of losing Sony services is that I'm going to get a free copy of Little Big Planet for PSP. It's coming.
Give me a free game, bitch.
Yeah, for an obsolete console that people have to fucking go on eBay and buy. Enjoy your copy of Little Big Planet.
This time it'll be a free Vita game or something.
Mm-hmm. That's how they draw up those sales. It's like $250 get a free video game. Let's go. That's what I'm here for.
You get Unit 13 and something that's been pulled from the store. I guess we could have Tales of the Borderlands for Vita.
It never came out for Vita, I don't think.
It never did? Mm-hmm. I thought that engine ran on everything.
Came on PS3, PS4, and
Wii U?
No. Xbox and Xbox 360 and Xbox One, yeah.
360.
They'd probably put up something, like Unit 13, the Jack collection on Vita.
Oh, God, the Jack collection sucks on Vita.
It's unplayable. It is unplayable. Some parts it's like 13 frames a second or something. Yeah, it's horrible.
There was another game I played that was. I ended up buying a digital copy on Vita, and I was like, man, I ended up sticking with the PS3 version because it's running like ass. I can't remember what it was.
There's a couple games that just run like straight.
I was like, who did this?
Was it the Ratchet games?
It was an RPG. Okay. Yeah, it was an RPG from Atlas. I was like, I can't believe Atlas released this.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad. I was sitting there like, what the fuck? Oh,
Vita.
Forgets my name. Does not come to me.
I get mad at the Vita, like I get mad at like the Dreamcast. Like I used to get mad at the Wii U, but now it's like, all right, we have a Wii U replacement. Like there was a happily ever after. There wasn't for Vita or the Dreamcast, except unless you look at like the Xbox for the Dreamcast.
Pretty much.
Oh, the game was so bad that on that Vita, I forgot what it was called. I'm trying to remember what it is. I'm sitting there like, I deleted from my memory. Like, I don't have room for this.
There's too much important stuff has to go in here. Fuck this.
But I remember enough where it pissed me the fuck off. I'm like, what? Oh, Lost Dimension. That's what it's called. Lost Dimension. I was like,
got there.
I was super excited about it. I was like, yeah. And I was like, I thank God about the PS3 version also because that's the one to go. The PS Vita one was like, it was dropping frames. I was in bad. I'm like, this is not enjoyable.
What did you Google? PS Vita games also on PS3 that run like ass, made by Atlas?
Vita RPGs Atlas, and it was like the fourth option. I had to like dig in there.
Nice.
I was like, it was buried in there because I did Vita RPGs, and it was like not even on that list. It was so bad they didn't put it on that list. RPGs, it's like this game doesn't exist. I was like, and I'm still trying to find my copy of Silent Hill 2. I know I got both of them. I found the
I search for games that run like booty hole. I don't know why I got these results.
Oh gosh.
Well, just in general, I mean, I'm trying to. Which Silent Hill 2 do you have? You have the good one or the bad one? I got the bad one. This one I can find is the bad one. I can't find the good ones. Well, the Greatest Hits has the DLC built in. That's the only way you can get it.
I don't have that. I mean, I don't have that one on PS2. I have the Greatest Hits on Xbox.
Yeah, the one on PS2 is like $800.
What?
Yeah, because it has the DLC built in. That was the only way you could get it was through the Greatest Hits. So apparently, when I was looking at that book, that Mike? I forgot what his name is. He wrote that Silent Hill 2 book. He said that's the one to get. I didn't realize that. I was like, fuck.
Who was it? Who was it? One of those boss battle books ones? Or boss type books?
He's always on everybody's feed. He's like a comedian, Mike something, and he actually wrote a book. I don't think he's into gaming that much. I just know he's a big fan of Silent Hill, so he wrote a book in Silent Hill.
Okay.
Like Dicephorin. Like his take on it.
I hooked up a new Cat 6 cable, so y'all let me know if anything shows up weird.
I know you know who he is, Mike Drucker.
Oh, yeah.
Writer for television, video games, and comics. Stand-up comedian, wrote a book about Silent Hill 2, coming January 26th, which is already out. He said he said the version to get in the best version to play of Silent Hill 2, all of them, he said this PS2 Greatest Hits is the best one to play.
Oh, what the fuck?
Because somebody had
that much money?
Somebody had asked him, and they're like, which one's the one to own? He says the PS2 version, Greatest Hits, because it has the DLC built into it. I don't know if it was
look it up now.
I don't know if it was $800. I know. I think the one I saw that was sealed was like $800. It is expensive.
I gotta look it up now. I don't know if it was $800. I know. I think the one I saw that was sealed was like $800. I don't know if it was $800. I know. I think the one I saw that was sealed was like $800. It is expensive.
It is expensive. I know it's a couple $100 at least. It's up there with Hunting Ground.
Your sealed one, sir, is $9.90. Oh God, open one is $150.
It's not bad. It's a bid or buy now. I think most of those I saw were bids.
Extras included additional playable character, more secrets revealed, new areas, weapons, and items, enhanced graphics and lighting. That's not in the Xbox one?
I think they, after the Xbox one came out, they fixed it up even more, apparently. I don't know if it's on there or not.
How many times did they redo this?
This was news to me. I didn't even know. I think I have the greatest hits one because at that time I was only buying the greatest hits games because I was like, oh, $20, I'll do it. I know it's here somewhere. I just got to find it.
You think you have it?
I may. I don't have time to look for it now, but I'm sitting here. I was looking at all my PS2 games and I was like, fuck.
Okay, those same Xbox extras are the ones from that PS2 greatest hits.
Okay, good. I have the Xbox one also, so.
I think that's the only one that came out, right? It's only that version of it?
I think, yeah, because it came out a year after the launch, because remember it came out a year first on PS2. I just know that they said the greatest hits on PS2 is the one to own out of all the ones released. Don't know why. I think this is the one I have because I remember playing as Maria, but in my version.
That was Rondo of Blood, sir. She throws doves and puppies and turtles.
Or the Sega Saturn version of Symphony of the Night.
Yep, she's in that version.
Oh, I saw a great video from somebody on YouTube about the a region patch to make that game full English.
Really?
Yeah. You just have to have a patcher tool, and then you can burn a disc of it.
What are those patcher tools built into? Is that something you can download?
I'm sure it is. It's something I'm not super familiar with, but
I don't know. We could probably get it on a console that we should be owned by now.
That's what I started laughing. You know why I started laughing?
I feel some type of way about that, you fucking asshole. Why are you gonna bring it up?
I'm gonna cancel if they push it out of February. I'm 100%.
I haven't heard shit.
I'm out.
You saw they're shipping out the controllers. I was like, controllers to what? Am I just gonna go home? Like I only have the controller in my hand. Like I can't wait to get that fucking console in my hand. Yeah,
light gun.
Light gun. They're advertising. The fucking NES controller. It's like those are shipped. I'm like, not even the PlayStation ripoff one or like their version of the PlayStation one. I was like, what the fuck is happening here?
I'm about to be out, man. My money's going to Mister. And Mister wasn't really at this level at that time when we pre-ordered.
Somebody out there is like, we gotta get these consoles to people. No, man, get those controllers in hands. We don't worry about these consoles. You're getting something real to hold in their hands.
Who ships that?
I don't know. Plug it into your PC that you use for the real emulation processes on the FPGA anyway, so. Yeah, I said it.
Thank you for the controller, Polymega. It goes great with my Mister.
It goes great with my other emulation products that I use.
So this kind of sort of related. Giant Bomb was talking about the retro, what they call that thing. Oh shit, I looked it up. Stone Age Gamer sells it. It's like it's a dump for ROM. So you plug Super Nintendo and Genesis games in it.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, so they're back in stock. They're $80. And I'm like, okay. And I listen more into the episode. The Retron 5 does the same thing. Like we all know that's emulation. You can dump those same drives, those same file saves to that. You can back them up with that. So then I was like, that's even more systems. I probably don't need this retro. I want to call it Retro Potato, but that's not right.
It might be something close to that.
I thought it started with a P, but I didn't know what. Oh, I'll probably be able to talk about this next week. I finally caved on one of those little bullshit prefab type things. Let's see if I can get it on there right. I got the RG350.
I've heard good things about that one.
No,
There's tons of
the
reviews.
351. This is just that thread. I was fucking around. This comes with a bunch of ROMs on it. I'm just gonna see what it's like and test it out. Brand, I might not be up there. If I run into you up there, I might have it on me. Check it out. Try to sell another one, get some commission. But I've been looking at these things forever, and it's like, fuck it, let's just go.
And you just pulled the fucking trigger. Well done, sir. Yep. Somebody needed to do it.
See what it looks like. It was between that one and the Retro Duo 2 or something like that, I think. Retroid, because it runs on Android.
Retroid.
Yep. So this is like a Linux one that does receive updates, but it's not gonna eventually shit the bed like Android does, or like being stuck on that OS. That's what I told myself at least. That's what I decided. I can run this Linux build forever. But we'll see. I'll watch some videos.
Oh,
It plays like certain 64 games really well, certain PlayStation games really well.
Yeah.
That's all that matters, man. It's hard to get a 64 emulator that works well. So,
but I'll give y'all.
I mean, fucking Nintendo can't do it on the Switch, so.
Well, they did for Super Mario, but we never got anything else from it. Instead, we're getting these bullshit games we have to talk about later on.
Oh, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like hidden gems, but man, it's like you can release anything you want. And you're just like, oh, we gotta do something this month. Go look over there. What we got over there?
I'm thinking, damn, where did they dig these games out? And I pull up the article that Brent linked, and it says deep cuts literally in the header. I was like,
yeah,
there we go.
That's what the world's about, I guess.
All right, we've talked about games for 20 minutes and got no credit for it. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Go.
Got no credit for it. Oh, I almost hung up on it.
It's like everything else I did in school at the time. Let's go.
Free credit.
That's why they call it extra credit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 146 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game podcast. Tonight, we're light on news at last. Brant took mercy on our souls. Speaking of souls, Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker expansion announced. That's 14 for the record. I struck 15. CD Projekt has been hacked. Sands of Time remake delayed. No, that's not how I remember it. Akira Yamaoka talks about his new project. It's about time this game came to Switch and PC. I wonder what that's about. And we have your blazing hot new Nintendo Online games. It's the titles everyone's been clamoring for. You just wait till the end of our news section. You're going to be thrilled. I'm Richard Bergman, joined tonight by Brant McKee.
What's
and
up?
Cesar Concepcion the second.
Hello?
We got a lot of time-related jokes. Let's see if we can work something in there and get a good podcast title out of this one. That's not Cesar's favorite terrorist texting network. You chose it. That was your chosen platform.
Should have went with PNO3.
PNO3.
For some reason, the only thing
PNO3.
PNO3.
Should have worked it in there
never
somehow.
brought it up.
I know.
It's the Capcom 5. It's not too late to bring them back.
Let's talk about long lost Capcom games on long lost console.
That Phoenix game that didn't come out, that shit looked awesome. I watched a clip of that the other day.
Was that number 5?
I think that was number 5. We had what?
Yeah.
Fatal Phoenix or
Beautiful
whatever
Joe.
that was.
Beautiful Joe.
PNO3. Resident Evil 4.
It was like, what was it, Killer 7?
We got it. We rounded it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I always remember that meme. It's Friday night. I always see it flying around every Friday night on Twitter. Somebody posting on there.
It's better than Friday night Daniel Craig introducing The Weeknd on SNL, and it's just that clip. Ladies and gentlemen.
That's every weekend now. Yeah.
Every Friday afternoon.
People got to stop liking shit like that, man. It's like, it gets like 100,000 likes. Someone's like, I'm going to do this fucking every week. So people just
I think
don't
it's
care.
Jeff Grubb, so you know that's his sense of humor anyways. I think that's where I see that. Ladies and gentlemen, The Weeknd.
I believe in that, yeah. I'm excited about his hot mess.
His summer hot mess.
He's already get the new graphic for. He's like, this is just 2020 part 2. Let's go. Everything's getting pushed back.
The 2020 remaster. 2021, the 2020 remaster still gets me. I'm like, we're still in this hell. It just has a shiny coat of paint and runs at 60 frames per second now.
I expect everything to get pushed back, so.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm playing a lot of GameCube, so I'm taking the time. That's just my bullshit, though. Do y'all want to jump straight into it? Sure. Final Fantasy 14. Noted expert of Final Fantasy 14 and has beat the game 13 times with multiple characters.
13 plus 1.
That's it.
Cesar,
what do you know about patch 6.0 expansion that's due this fall? Via Sao Romano at Gamatsu. There's 2 big takeaways, I guess.
I think the biggest thing was this is supposed to end it all, right? I think this is supposed to complete the story, if I remember when I was reading online
well,
about
after
it.
Endwalker, you have to have Peace Walker, so.
There we go. I would also accept a form of payment of Star Wars related jokes with Endwalker as well. So I was waiting for that, but nobody jumped.
Skywalker. Oh shit.
Oh god, I was like, who's doing these titles over here, man? But Yoshi P and we
seem
trust.
Almost
so.
generic, like especially the World of Warcraft ones. When I see it, it's like, okay, what algorithm shat this out? you attach something to it.
Yeah, so this is all from Gimatsu from Sal Romano, and this basically all they said is that Final Fantasy 14 would be coming to PlayStation 5. This expansion is also going to be on PS4, PC, and Mac. They noted that in April 13th they're going to do a beta for Final Fantasy 14 on PlayStation 5. Also, that goes along with the release for 5.5, which is, I guess, their halfway point before the big expansion this fall. They did note that it was going to support 4K graphics, utilize a hard drive for faster speed times. Also, I think it says something with the haptic feedback, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
Is it in there? I don't see that in the article. It wouldn't surprise me though that it was maximized for that.
I think I'm getting my announcements that we're going to talk about later. I think I'm mixed up.
I know that one is. I can't confirm that one.
I know that one. I know that one's using activity play cards on that one too. I don't think they are doing activity cards on this one. I think this one was also. I think this one's the big deal was going to be the graphics increase as well as just the faster speeds. I know they did like a little trailer to kind of break down all the bonuses and plus you get on there. So the open beta will be in April. Didn't say it was going to be a free trial with it. I think if you are already into the game environment, then you can participate in the beta. Sometimes they'll do betas that get people new players in there, so they don't know if it could be a free beta at some point. They just didn't clarify yet.
I tried the PS4 one, I think it was.
So outside of that, the Endwalker story, I guess is they're doing the whole final end. So this is like the end of the Hadelian and Zoldyrak sagas. So this is the finale to the 10 years. So this is going to finish that major story arc that they started with the very first one from Realm Reborn, and kind of tie everything off. Whether or not that means Final Fantasy 14 is done, I doubt it because they still do regular updates for 11, but they just seem to be quest updates every so often. I don't think they haven't done a major expansion since 14 came out.
That's wild to me. What do you think that player count's like on 11?
It's not that high, but I think that's why they were moving it to mobile devices. Remember, they were trying to do that conversion at some point. I don't know if that's taken off or not. I guess so that way people want to go, they can play 11. But some people still do it because they keep the servers up. Excuse me. The only thing they killed out was the PS2 version. So, and I don't know, are the 360 servers still running?
360 one still live? I got a copy of that when they pennied it out when I was in retail like 15 years ago.
I bought one of those as well.
That would be surprising if it was still up.
I feel like it's PC only. I'm thinking, and I remember when I was trying to get in there and try to play it recently. It was such a pain because it was separate from their play. It was you had to go through the old play online and get in there, which was still up for some reason. They didn't convert it over to the same system they have for Final Fantasy 14, so you had to do a separate log. And I think I got stuck somewhere because it said I had an account for Play Online already.
I remember you talking about this.
Yeah. And I was like, I can never figure out my password, and like you had to go through support. It was such bullshit because I went through support, and they're like, you capitalized a certain letter in your email address. That's why you weren't getting emails. I was like, you fucking serious? It's case sensitive? They're like, yeah, that's what happened. I was like, that's why I didn't see you when you tried to change the password. I said, oh my god, I said it for 2 weeks.
Case sensitive email address?
Yeah. I was like, there's only one fucking me. It doesn't matter what the case sensitive or not. Just it sends shit to that one address. So I'm like, I have to log in and it's fucking case sensitive when I create the user ID when it's with my fucking
Facebook
email.
Facebook tipped them off. They were like, this guy's gonna reach out to you, and we know that he last used Play Online when he was looking at the Final Fantasy 9 strategy guide. So you need to fuck with him and make up some bullshit about his email address.
Since somehow I can't have a Facebook page, but everybody else
and
their politicians can have one. So whatever.
Zuckerberg denied your existence.
Facebook. Yeah,
I'm not a real person. I was trying to cause mischief. Apparently.
The robot shut you down. He's not even human himself. Yeah. Who's he to decide?
I love that. It's like in your idea would not be reversed. Remember that? I think that's what they told me. And it will not be reversed. There's nothing you can do. I was like, I'm not a real person. And there's no way you can prove it.
It was fine. Like, right, cool. I was checking with you, like, where are we at? I don't have any correspondence with this. They're sending you everything. It's like, you're like, my bad. They shut me down. I'm like, what do you mean shut you down? And you sent me a screenshot.
Somebody's sitting there like, nice try, robot.
As I send him the fucking driver's license with my name on there, I'm like, all right, cool.
He jumped through every hoop that they asked him so we could add our page to it.
They're like, damn, this AI is smart, man. He's got a driver's license.
Look what they came up with
ain't
this
buying
time.
it, though.
He came up with a legit driver's license.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Ban his ass.
Skynet.
Yep, you picked out all the Sarah Connors and the CAPTCHA.
It was the whole fucking picture, yeah.
Holy crap, we dodged a bullet though. I'm glad we're not on there. That was that was an attempt to try to grow our fan base, and I would rather not have that fan base. So I think that was.
Oh yeah, because they did go in a direction. Yeah, whatever. It is what it is. I don't.
So we're now
care,
on Parler.
So.
You can find us at NOFODcast on.
Oh God, no.
Richard, I have some bad news.
Oh no!
I don't know if you've heard.
No. It's okay. They're not hosted with Amazon Web Services anymore. That's just like PlayStation.
The one thing that AWS won't support. Yeah.
Oh shit! All right, enough political jokes. We're gonna skate around Zuckerberg robots and pizza parlors and at Parler.
That Zuckerberg looks like Data from Star Trek.
Basically. Oh, my favorite ones are those Senate hearings where people captured it, and they were like, captured it, and they said, remember to drink water. Humans have to drink water. And you see him taking a sip. Oh God, he's too easy.
Follow the algorithm. Water. You gotta drink the water every 5 seconds. Just drink the water. They'll never suspect a thing if you just keep drinking water.
All living life forms.
I had a coworker in my job. Used to work in my department. I'd never see that man eat, and we only see him drink water and coffee. And I say, man, he's a machine. He only ran on water and coffee. Dude would never eat. He's always up there just getting water. Yeah.
Is he thin?
No. It was like.
That's interesting.
I'm sure he ate. I just thought it was funny because it's like he was always drinking water.
Some people have phobias of like eating in front of other people. Like they won't do it. Whether they eat like monsters or not, it's just a thing, you know. That's interesting.
I have no shame. I don't care anymore.
Part of his fasting.
Whatever.
Yeah, who cares? New jobs, level cap, expansive new areas, a new tribe, new threats, including anime. I read that as including anime. New threats, including anime. Anima, which was Seymour summon, right? Is that same thing in the straight jacket coming out of there?
Yeah, give it to that guy. And you also got the higher level cap, level 90.
I'm still going back to new threats, including anime. So that's our stay away from Final Fantasy 14. You can't go in there. They're going to get you. Maybe that's what got you to start with.
Oh, this game? Oh, man.
The anime.
God.
The anime got you.
I don't want to derail too much, but I do want to tell Brant to watch an anime called Mushoku Tensei. I pissed myself off because I was like, I started watching it, and I think you saw how Rising the Shield Hero was, where it kind of just pulled you in each episode.
Oh, yeah.
I that's how this one was. This was another isekai one, but this one was different. He was like, I don't want to derail too much, but he was 34 years old. He dies, and he gets reborn as a baby in another world. He has to start from scratch. But he still has his personality, and his personality sucks because all he did was stayed in his room for 10 years and just played visual novels and jacked it to underage porn.
Whoa.
So the show is weird. So he comes back, he gets reborn, and he thought he was in Europe because he's like, everybody looks very European. I don't want to go into details about it. And then he comes to realize, like, he figures out it's another world. But he's like, he's a baby. He's like, he doesn't find out until his baby, until it's tried to grab his mom's, you know what, and he saw his hands, and he's like, what the hell? And so after that, he realized it goes up, and he's growing. I think he's up to age 7. So you start from when he's a baby, and it follows him up to age 74. That's how the books go. These are based off the light novels. And so he dies in the real world at 34, and he goes up to 74. I think I'm up to the point where he's age 12. I'm not sure for how the anime is going to go because I fucking got pulled in and I got to episode 5 and that was it. And I was like, I didn't realize it was still going on. And then I started buying the light novels, and the light novels are a lot more detailed. And I was like, when I found out about him in the very beginning.
Pervert reborn.
So basically, yeah, but he's a lot better now. He doesn't do that stuff. He realized he can use magic, and he's like, oh, you know, he was like, I play video games all the time, and he's like, I always thought if I got a chance to do this, and I'm not going to waste it. And so he kind of like, he taught himself how to read at age 2, and he's like, he just remembers all that stuff from his the previous life, and he learns how to use magic. And he's still pervert because I think they got him a an apprentice. Roxy happens to be a girl, and he keeps stealing her panties, and he keeps putting panties over his head and stealing them. He's like 2 years old.
What's the name of that one? If somebody wants to watch this,
Mushoku Tensei.
Mushoku.
Yeah.
What is Tensei? That's in a lot of games.
Reincarnation.
That checks out.
Yes, a Mushoku Tensei. But it is pretty fucking good. I got pulled in there. He's a lot better now. He's not that douchebag. He was making fun of his dad. He calls his dad Paul. He's like, Paul, stop fucking. He's like, you're screwing me, Paul. Because I think he finds out that Paul ends up throughout the. That's something you can't, Brent. You cannot watch that show with your son in that room because like he's like.
I didn't think so.
Well, part of this sounded child appropriate up to this point. Please tell me what's gonna rule this out now.
They kind of glanced over the whole part of him being 34 and like that. That was in the books. They went into more details. They didn't go into that in the anime at all. I didn't realize until I read the books, and I was like, oh god, he was an even worse person in the books. They kind of just glanced over it in the anime. They just put sensory porn on there when they beat him up. But it's like his dad, he calls him Paul, and he ends up throughout the whole show he's like banging his mom the whole time. They're like moaning through the walls, and he's sitting there trying to read like these magic books and learn, and he just looks up and is like, I hope for a sister, and then he just starts going back to reading, and he just accepts that's what his life is. And so he finds out later on that Paul slept with his mom and got her pregnant and got the maid pregnant at the same time, and he's like, and then they both told him, and then he's like Paul, he's like, you idiot, and he had to sit there, you're gonna ruin everything for me, and he had to like sit there and fix it. And so like he's like 5 years old, and they're like, how does he understand this stuff? And he's just, it's stuff he remembers from his previous life. So it's pretty good. And then he starts learning magic. Yeah. And now they're trying to teach him, like his dad's a swordsman, so there's like a Norse god style.
Like
there's three different god styles. Yeah, it's bad enough where they sent him off to do an apprenticeship to make money, and the lady that took him, he wrote a letter and said, I was only able to slay her in bed. He's like, I'm just gonna send this letter to my mom. He's like, I can't deal with this guy. This guy's an idiot. It's like he's like reading the letter, like, why would you tell me this? Why would you put this in the letter? He's like, just tell me what I'm doing. Why is this part has nothing to do with what I'm doing at all? He just had to mention that the lady that's training him, he was only able to slay her in the bed, apparently. So.
All right, next up in news, Cyberpunk 2077 studio falls victim to ransomware attack.
What a segue.
Winner.
Hey man, I just want Brand to watch it because I made it sound nasty, but it is really fucking good.
Captain stabbing to cyber stabbing. Okay.
That's just I say that stuff and it sounds gruesome and nasty, but it's funny. Though the Paul stuff is funny. But because he's an idiot. But yeah. But yeah, it's really good, and it's not something I expected from Funimation. So I think this one's a Funimation only one. Just a heads up.
It's on Hulu.
Is it on Hulu? Yeah, I think a lot of the Funimation ones they got to do
bookmarked it.
Hey man, just join me. I'm pissed now. I got to wait to episode 6. I was bad enough I had to buy the books. I'm sitting. I read 3 books. That was like 300 pages each. I'm already 900 pages in. So I'm finally to the part where I passed the show where he's about to turn 12. He's about to celebrate because they only celebrate birthdays every 5 years, so they don't do it every year. So they celebrate his 5th birthday. They're about to do his 10th. He already did his 10th. I think they're about to do his 15th. So
bizarro world.
It's an interesting world. It's like a middle age, like 600s or something like that. It's a different type of world.
All right, CD Projekt Red was hacked. Noted Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077 developer. They had to issue a statement 2 days ago, yesterday. Oh, this is new news. Mm-hmm. In its statement, this comes from The Verge and John Porter. In its statement, CD Projekt says it has secured its IT infrastructure and has begun restoring its data from intact backups. It says it has informed the relevant authorities as well as IT forensic specialists. They were sent a note. Hacked by attackers who've been able to access its internal network, encrypt some devices, and collect certain data. They threatened to release source code because CD Projekt Red actually posted the letter they were sent. And the ransomware attackers threatened to release source code for the Gwent game and Cyberpunk and Witcher 3 and the unreleased version of Witcher 3. Not sure what that consists of. But the README unlock on the notepad is quite interesting. You have 48 hours to contact us. You have been epically pwned.
Have been
epically pwned.
Yes, they even had a little misspelling in there.
All your bases are belong to us.
So they did clarify a few things. To our ex-employees, as of this moment, we don't possess evidence that any of your personal data was accessed. However, we still recommend caution, enable fraud alerts. If you have questions, write to the privacy team, blah, blah, blah. So, is there anything else in their statement? They're investigating the incident. We will not give in to demands nor negotiate with the actor, being aware that this may eventually lead to the release of the compromised data. So that stuff may get out there, and then that'll be the weird stuff that we talk about but don't point you to kind of thing that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because this stuff was not secured by illegal means, but there's always some interesting game preservation type stuff. Is that it for that one? It sucks. Don't be a hacker. Be an ethical hacker. Don't steal people's shit. We have a game delayed to announce. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake. This is the second time it's been delayed.
Yes.
I'm starting to worry about this project. Are you guys in that same boat? No?
No.
I would much rather it be delayed indefinitely.
There we go.
What messed you up with it? The look of it? You want them to make sure they get it right type thing?
Well, I know the first trailer they dropped for the game, the scenery and a lot of the assets and stuff looked fine. They actually looked fine. But when it got to the actual character models and everything, they all looked really janky. Were rough. I mean, it looked like PS2 era kind of stuff, and it just I don't know. It didn't look era, right.
But without that sheen of like CRT fuzz almost. Yep.
Yeah.
I got a good feeling that it is probably got scrapped, and they're starting from scratch.
I'm worried. I guess my worry from that was that it is going to be scrapped. They're just going to try it, and it's never going to work.
No, I think they're going to start from scratch. I think they are going to go at a different angle. I think that's why it's been delayed indefinitely.
It's supposed to come out next month. Oh, they did say indefinitely in their statement, didn't they? We understand this update might come as a surprise. We'll continue to keep you posted on the progress of Prince of Persia: Sands of Time's remake. In the meantime, we want to thank you for your ongoing support.
We should not be surprised. They did this to Skull and Bones, and apparently that's the game is still coming out, and that's been scrapped and restarted from scratch several times. So that's been delayed, the last 4 years?
Yeah, that was at their E3 presentation. So, when there was an E3.
Mm-hmm. And they're still making it, so they haven't gotten rid of it yet.
I didn't put it in news because, I mean, it's kind of a non-story story, but apparently they're already planning out E3 for this year and saying they are planning to have a presentation. But, of course, it's going to look different than it has in years past. Yeah. But it seems like they are planning to do an E3 this year.
They said as long as they have backing from
the major players.
Yeah, and they said it had to be six figures backing too. So I'm not going to hold my breath because I don't know who's going to. Maybe Microsoft will do it, but at this point they might do their own thing. So
I think
that's the only people I think that would actually.
But they were already not paying it, right? Weren't they doing their own thing at that Microsoft theater? Yeah.
Because we didn't. Did we have it? I can't even remember. We had E3 was that weird summer of Summerfest or whatever that shit was. They spread it out, but that was mostly in conjunction with IGN and Geoff. I don't know if you would consider. Would we consider that an E3?
It was of sorts. It's not the traditional one. Geoff.
Geoff.
Let me call him Geoff.
I mean, at this point, I mean, Nintendo kind of figured this out long ago. But after last year, it seems like everybody else has gotten on this bandwagon of we can throw our own presentations. It doesn't take a whole lot of production to make a sizzle reel showing off what we're going to do this year, and then have somebody in front of a green screen just kind of explain things here and there, or have the developers sit down in front of a camera and explain what they're doing with and their timetables for the game, things like that. And you don't have to spend as much time, travel, no expenses. You don't have to. I mean, the only thing you're really missing out on is having a showroom floor and having demos and everything out there for people to have hands on. But I mean, Nintendo again, they're one of those companies where they come out and they do a direct, or they'll do a little mini direct, something, a showcase, and it seems like they'll even, I won't say half, but there'll be a handful of the games that they announce to be like, well, it's announced today, or you know what? And if you're interested, there's a demo ready today. You can just go and download it immediately.
I was hoping for more of that last year, but I think they'll really lean into that this year, like you were saying. Steam's been doing it. Steam does those festivals where they'll have like 150 game demos that you can try. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but most of those seem to be indie based.
A lot of them were. Xbox has done it a couple times.
Yeah.
I think they did it for like Destroy All Humans, and there's a couple like pretty good time demo things that they'll do to drum up interest.
Yeah, I can see them do like a streaming app or something like that. The problem with doing a download is you can data mine. You can sit there and you can break on what's in that game.
This leads towards what Cesar was talking about last week with Stadia. Like Stadia could market this technology for those demos like that. Like I played that Phoenix Immortals Rising. I played that Stadia demo and it was flawless, and I just booted right up to it and played through that whole demo. We wish luck to the Prince of Persia Sands of Time team. Also, another thing I noticed, since it was going to come out January 21st, we don't have to do the whole like PS4 or PS5 upgrade copy. Like I'm pretty sure now it'll be like a native PS5 disc that comes out, so we don't have to play that game. Speaking of upgrading your PS4 game to a PS5 game, I'm going to skip ahead in the stories. We had one delayed. We've got a couple announcements for Next Generation Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time.
Yeah.
Brant's Game of the Year from last year.
Hell
Go back
yeah.
and listen to our Game of the Year podcast. Brant raves about this game. It was like 2 hours. We could not get him to shut up about
so great.
It's about time.
He played it almost live on stream.
He did.
Once.
On his PS5. He's already played the PS5 version.
Yep. Y'all saw me right there at the end, just going, man, I'm right here at the end. Come on, I just want to get this over with.
They sent him the PS5 build. They said this man has played the most Crash Bandicoot 4 out of anybody on PlayStation Network, and we can't log into PlayStation Network to confirm it, so we're going to send him a PS5 copy. So Crash Bandicoot 4, this comes from Saurmano Gamatsu. Crash Bandicoot 4, it's about time, coming to PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and Switch on March 12th, PC later in 2021. And the big news, of course, is that is a free upgrade for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One owners. It's going to cost $60 on PS5 and Xbox Series consoles, and $40 for Switch and PC. That's interesting. I missed that the first time. Enhancements include native 4K resolution 60 frames on PS5 and Series, and upscale to 4K on Series S, as well as feature quicker load times and 3D audio.
That's what that game really needs, is damn quick load times.
I thought you were going to say 3D
I was leaning in. I was like, my headphones are ready, Brant. Thanks. That's all I needed.
That way you can get that three-directional, whoa! Oh, wow.
Wow!
When he dies and the shoes go flying up and you can hear the shoes go behind your head.
Busted controllers left and right.
PS5 version, this is what Cesar mentioned earlier, will also utilize the DualSense controller's wireless triggers to feel the force of Neo Cortex's DNA-changing blaster, or experience the grip as they grapple with Tawna's hookshot. Additionally, PS5 activity card feature will give players a breakdown of their progress, so we can track Brant throughout each of the game's dimensions, providing guidance to Brant and to achieve objectives and more.
Good thing you got that PlayStation Plus service so they can tell you what to do in that game, Brant. Well done.
Right?
Activision also teased more Crash Bandicoot news to come, mentioning fans should be on the lookout for tons of future Furtastic. I totally fucked that up. Oh god, I thought it was futuristic. Furtastic festivities from Activision Blizzard.
It's okay, man. We it's hard for us to remember remastered also.
In 4K. Activision Blizzard aim to engage Crash Bandicoot fans throughout the year. Fans can expect more information on the PC edition at a later date, along with other fun happenings in celebration of the franchise's 25th anniversary. What do you think they will do for the franchise's 25th anniversary? I can't think of anything besides
make a new game.
They just did that.
Make a new game. Crash 5, and then they'll have to piss off the people in Japan somehow. They screwed Japan on this one too. Remember, everybody gets the free copies of Japan.
Crash 5, it's way past time, but it's a baseball game. So the only one they haven't remastered yet is Crash Bash, right? Is that the one we're waiting on?
Yeah.
Or that Wrath of Cortex, the true 4.
I mean, the best, not the best news, but the only sucking news is I remember somebody put a tweet on there and they're like, yeah, they did a big fuck you to Japan. Was that whole users who purchases versions will be able to upgrade to the next generation counterpart at no additional cost except in Japan. Save data
How is
can
that
also
a
be
thing?
carried over.
How did they get screwed?
I don't know. Oh, everybody gets to upgrade.
It's funny though.
They might be getting. So I guess who publishes in Japan? Was it Activision or did
Watch
they have
it be
a partner?
that weird thing like Square Enix or something. Or it might be on PlayStation Plus that month.
Spike Chunsoft or something like that. I'm looking it up now.
It's Squaresoft. Squaresoft signed the publishing rights like 25 years ago and it can never come out. It can't come out on any PlayStation system. Or it only has to come out on a portable. All right, Cesar's looking that up. Gematsu story, the next bit of news. Akira Yamaoka teases new project to be announced by summer. He is, of course, the composer of the Silent Hill series, and he just did, there it is. He just did The Medium.
Yeah, he just did The Medium.
For the Xbox Series consoles and Bloober Team. There's been an update. Whoever posted this, Al Hub.
Oh, I think I say Al Bundy. I was like, what?
Al Jazeera, another news outlet. Al Hub has pulled the interview by request of an unspecified party. I wonder who that is. He said, we were asked to remove the clip and it has been removed. We apologize. Stay tuned for the next interviews. The next update on the 8th said, Konami did not ask Al Hub to take down the interview. A Konami spokesperson said, thanks Push Square. It's the next Sour Mono bit at the very end of it. So some bang up reporting by Push Square on that one. So stay tuned for a new project. Apparently it's going to be at the Game Mess, I'm sorry. The Jeff Grubb Game Mess. Did y'all also see they updated Astro's Playroom and apparently some of the tricks that he was using on that, you can't use them anymore, like some of the whirls and stuff to get Astro to move faster? So then it ended up being this whole discussion on Twitter about the leaderboards, like they should be frozen in time and like nobody should be able to go up or down on them now that that's gone through. All right, someone's going to have to tell us about Nintendo's latest Switch Online, SNES, and NES titles.
I know we should go to our Animal Crossing correspondent since he doesn't do that shit anymore.
Yeah. So this one comes from The Verge. Sam Byford goes over these deep cuts that Nintendo is giving us for February here for the Nintendo Online services. So these are the SNES and NES games that they kind of just periodically give us now. These are just some, like they said, deep cuts. These are kind of very obscure games. So for the NES, they're adding one title called Fire and Ice, which it's kind of like looks like it just kind of like a puzzler, it's almost like a platform puzzler is what it looks like. You're like a little wizard, and you from the video it showed you can make ice blocks and things like that, and you're trying to put out these little fires on the screen. So you have to move around the little platform area and strategically place your ice, push your ice blocks and stuff like that to put out the fire and pass your levels. Then for
that actually looked pretty good in that snippet.
It actually did. And then for SNES, we
all right,
get.
Let's talk about something right here. Does anyone ever say SNES on this podcast? I hate
SNES?
that. I can't stand it.
No, I never say SNES. I always say SNES.
Or I'll say Super NES sometimes, but that's a stretch. That's a stretch.
Super
Because
NES?
I don't call it the NES. Let's go play some NES games. What's new on that NES Online? Does anyone do that?
The SNES, no.
I'm assuming it's probably personal preference. And you know how that is. Some people like to talk about that. It is what it is. I just choose to ignore people.
I do too. I was just wondering what y'all's preference was.
I just always call it Super Nintendo. I don't think I abbreviate. Very rarely I say SNES. It's just too much. It's easier for me to say Super Nintendo rolls off the tongue.
True.
Yeah, it's more work to me to sit there and make a.
So was it
abbreviation of
Nintendo for you then? Are we gonna go back to, or you call that NES?
I think that one I
Okay.
actually called NES.
See,
The extra syllable.
There's a
Really
variation.
fucked me over. Mm-hmm. I was like, no, I'm not SNES. No, fuck that.
and you
Super
had
Nintendo.
N64.
Super
Nobody says GCN, their official abbreviation they were pushing.
Yeah.
GameCube. All right, just curious. I didn't mean to derail you. Go ahead, Brant.
You're good.
but
You're good.
You didn't get to the room, the elephant in the room, which was the Wii U.
Which is still Wii U. All right, tell us about those SNES games that you can play on Wii U. Little Wii. Yeah, that's it. That's
Little
it.
Wii.
So
Little Wii.
I got a little Wii over there. See, it's behind. It's red. It's right there. It's behind all the
Yeah.
Blu-ray anime.
Brant, did you track one of those down? I think you were looking at one point, weren't you? The little Wii.
For what?
You got a little Wii?
No.
The S-Video little Wii?
No. I got the Wii
Yeah.
U. I'm good. So back to these games. So we're getting Doomsday Warrior, which is a
Fighting game.
like fighting game. It looks, just the layout looks a little different. I mean, it'll be something to try out.
When did that come out? Because it reeks of
1992.
pre-Street Fighter. It looks like something that Street Fighter would have just shat all over.
Yeah. Psycho
This one looked
Dream,
awesome.
which to me looked kind of like a side-scrolling action platformer, like akin to a I don't know, like a Castlevania or something kind of style.
It's not a Dream of a Psycho.
Dream
That's
of
what I
a
was going
Psycho.
with here.
It's actually Dream of the
Yeah.
Probe.
Psycho.
That's what it was released at in the U.S.
And
Like,
then
I mean, what? All right, no, I'm mad. When we get the classics like balls or what's another SNES classic? I'll beat some balls, man.
you just said SNES Classic.
Yeah, I'm just doing everything wrong just right now.
What's another SNES Classic?
I'm trying to think. Zoop.
Oh.
Zoop's a good one. Why can't I get Zoop? What's another shitty one?
We bought this flying game that we were pissed off at. It had mode 7 and we were just like, this is gonna be amazing. We'd played Turn and Burn, No Fly Zone, and this was like wings over air or some shit. It was awful. Ooh.
It's a sequel to
Should
Balls.
be. Balls 2. 2 balls.
Oh god. I have
too
my
many balls.
I got my copy of Balls somewhere. We can stream that
I
one.
think I got that with my Super Nintendo when I bought it. I got Mario All-Stars, and then I had like $5 left to spend on the credit or whatever I had, and I got this fucking Wild Wings game, whatever it was. Oh, now I gotta find it. Fuck.
My bad. Yeah, continue, Brent, before we go off. I'm just pissed because if we're gonna do bullshit games, I was gonna go down a list of just other bullshit games we can have that's outside of what
It's actually
we would
open to
actually
NES
play,
and SNES games since Nintendo won't give us anything else.
So the last one on the list is Prehistoric Man, which this one's like a 2D platformer kind of deal. It doesn't look bad at all, but these are definitely just some odd games. I think they're
Oh, that's what it was. Rise of the Robots.
Shit.
Was another one.
Rise of the Robots.
Yes, we need that shitty ass game. Was that on?
All right, here's
Super
my
Nintendo?
game, Wings 2 Aces High. That's the name of it. Oh god, it sucks so bad.
Wings 2 Aces
Wings
High.
2
I'm
Aces
adding
High.
it to my shopping cart on
it's
eBay right now.
trash.
Hold on. Wings 2. What was it?
Aces
Wings 2
High. Make
Aces
sure you get the high aces.
It's in my eBay shopping cart right now.
You buy it and
See how much
stream
this
it.
thing
Go
goes
ahead.
for.
It's on your new SNES Classic.
I can get it for the low price of $5.99 for my
That's what I paid
SNES
for in
Classic
like
here.
1996.
Yep.
So it hasn't ebbed or flowed.
Should I can make an offer. Should I go like $2.99?
I'll give you
argue with the
a
guy.
copy
Like,
of
nah.
Aces High.
Oh god, Rise of the Robots is another one. Was
Look that
a
one
Super
up.
Nintendo
I think it was.
Yeah. That was one I used to play a lot of it. Rise of the Robots. Here we go. It's that shitty ass. It has 30. It says on the box 32 megs
It
of power.
is. It truly is, isn't it?
I'm looking at one right here that has that looks like somebody went for fingerprinting at a police station and then immediately put their copy of Rise and Sell. They're like, nope, I've done all the wrong things in life, and it was because of you. Because I see the thumbprint indicator on that cartridge right now.
Like it literally comes. It's the only system with like it's one of the early systems with the literal eject button, but it looks like they manhandled it out the cartridge with their hands.
Oh.
Yeah, what was the other one we're talking about? Balls.
This is promising. This is what I saw in the box, and I was like, this game looks amazing. It's ass. It sucks. This game is trash.
You've all been there, man. I have a copy of Balls, and then I have a copy of Rise of the Robots. We all been burned.
We've all been there.
And I was like, and at that point, I have to play Rise of the Robots, and then I figured out they came out with Rise of the Robots 2, and then what was that, a Saturn game? I was like, I'll never play that.
And in all fairness, when I got this shitty game, I also had Super Mario All-Stars sitting off to the other side, so I know what got played.
And Rise of the Robots 2 was a Sega Saturn game, and it goes for a complete in-box Sega Saturn American version, $25.
Get it to put in your Polymega.
I should. The Japanese cover looks way better. Their cover looks weird. It looks like somebody from looks like an alien reject from the Alien movies is on the cover.
Xenomorph.
It's like a tall,
dollar store Xenomorph.
Oh shit! Somebody's trying to sell a Japanese copy for $107, but somebody's over here for $27. What's somebody smoking something? This dude has $107, and then everybody else is sitting around like. Is it new sealed? Bucks. It absolutely is not. It says video game used. You're gonna have to pay plus $20 shipping to ship it from Japan.
Shit. Screw that guy.
All right, what's the last one? Prehistoric Man.
Yeah, Prehistoric Man. None of these games you mentioned, none of these I've played.
Not played any of them either.
I'm sorry, Brent. I'd rather play sucky games that I know they're gonna suck. So hopefully these games don't suck.
So Psycho Dream looked good. Brent, just 1 second. Psycho Dream looked good.
You're good.
You mentioned like the power ups. It almost seemed like a shoot 'em up. Like you would get additional things as you continue along the platform. Yeah. That's what it looked like to me. That looked intriguing, and I was like, why hasn't that been done before? I guess Mario is kind of in that, but it's not the same as like getting double missiles and ice beam and all that like really fast together.
All right, hold on, guys. I got you.
Oh God, here we go.
There we go. I got you guys. There we go. I just redeemed your copy of Wings 2.
Are you buying it?
Hell no. I'm just looking. I have too much shit as it is. Well, I'm going to buy games I'm not going to play as it is. So
what is that? Wing Commander and something else?
Yeah. Does that make you buy a copy of Wings 2?
No.
Is that enough?
Somebody shit all over the other game that I might play in that lot.
So.
What happened?
All right. So let's say we got a lot with Wings 2, and they put every Final Fantasy in there. Chrono Trigger, Earthbound. Do you buy that lot? Does it deter you from that lot?
Yes.
It's an affordable lot. Under $100. You buy that lot. What do you do with that copy of Wings 2?
I don't buy that. Trash. I don't buy that lot. I burn it.
Sounds like a sequel to the TV show Wings. Every time I say Wings 2, I was like, was that a sequel to Wings?
It's the follow-up. This is the Ben's Drown copy of Wings.
Is Tony Shalhoub in there? Is he the taxi driver also? He's in Wings?
He is Wings. That's like his breakout, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Holy shit.
You just put it in the CD player and...
Where did I go?
Play Band on the Run.
Did I shit the bed on y'all?
No, you're good. We can hear you and see you.
I'm not on the OBS feed for some reason. Maybe it's just on my side.
I'm looking on you. You're good. All right. I'm sorry. You can finish this.
That's it. I think we're done with that bit. Yeah. Now I got to burn my copy of Wings too.
I think that they're running out of games because it's pretty obvious they aren't going to do third-party stuff. It's pretty hard with all the licensing to get certain games. It would be
you don't know what these third, like you said, you don't know what these third parties are going to do with this shit. Maybe they want to sell in their own collection.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I mean, Square they released that Final Fantasy.
Oh, the Collection of Saga.
Yeah, the Collection Saga. Yeah.
I fucking bought that the day it came out, and I was like, all right, cool, let me get in this. And I had the original, very first one, Final Fantasy Legend. That was like one of my original Game Boy games I played back in the day, and I never fucking understood it because I chose my team, and you get one human, you get a fucking mutant, you get an albatross, a zombie, or whatever. And so I'm sitting here and I'm killing enemies, and there's a piece of meat here. Do you want to eat it? I'm sitting here turning everybody in my team to different things, and like it throws off the whole chemistry of my team. And then I was like, I think I got past the first floor where I had to get the armor, the shield, and the sword, and put on the statue to open up the tower. and then went into another parallel world, and I'm like, I'm done with this game. And I did the exact same thing, and when I played then on the Switch, I got to that point, and I'm like, what am I doing? I still fired at the second and third one. So, but
all right, I am off the feed. I did crash, but you guys keep going. We're okay.
Oh, wow.
Listeners will know I'm just not on video.
You are 100%. Oh yeah, you're not on video on here. I can see you though. That's weird. Can you see him, Brent?
Skype is working fine.
Yeah.
It's the OBS. For some reason, when you sent that link, it shit the bed. I don't know what happened.
Oh my bad. It must have opened up a third window or something like that.
Yeah, I killed it somehow.
It decided that you were not important that Wings 2 copy that we need to see anybody was more.
I'm telling you, man, it's haunting me. It's haunting me 25 years later.
But that's what everybody wants. Is, I mean, they're wanting, you know, the Final Fantasies or Chrono Triggers or stuff like that, and it's these third party companies. They would probably wait and sell them on their own in their own collection rather than let Nintendo license them out on their platform where they're only charging $20 a year. I mean, they probably wouldn't get much to license them out.
Right.
Or even if they have them, because I mean, we saw Nintendo was fucking ROM dumping on the virtual console stuff. So, I mean, they may not have them. They might be. It just all depends. So,
but it would be nice that if Nintendo added, and maybe they will, you know, since they're kind of running low on titles here, add something else like Game Boy Color or something to the platform.
You got a point. At this point, they should have at least every first party Nintendo title on there at least.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they could do that. I understand that they can't get everything on there. Yeah. I mean, if they have, you know, they control that IP, they could at least do that, you know. But then again, we saw what happened with Fire Emblem. They didn't put Fire Emblem on the NES one. They decided to sell that separately. So I guess it just all depends. Like you said, they'll evaluate the IP and depending, they're going to do what's best for it. So, you know what I'm saying? Do you want to take a short intermission while we reboot the Saab? I'm looking. It's just me looking at the tablet, looking at me looking at the tablet. It's an endless story. Just take a short recess.
¿Por qué?
Sound like an NSYNC song.
Maybe that's me. There I am. Sweet. We just need a timestamp of sorts.
What was it? 15 minutes at some point. It's 1 hour 9 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll write it down.
It's gonna be 46 on the recording. 46. Yeah,
46 on the recording
because we had a little bit of lead in.
Yeah.
All right. Shit. Hold on. 6. Well, it's like you click on the fucking thing in the app, and I'm like, I want you to fucking edit, not sit there and highlight the area that I just want to look at. That doesn't make any sense to me. 46. Then I have to go down and hit the pin down there. You know, I don't even know why I'm upset, because at some point they're just going to discontinue Google Drive, so whatever.
It's get the plug pulled on it like Stadia did, or is going to.
And then we'll we'll have to do at that point is just write it down on paper and then fax it to each other. We'll just go back to old school. So.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Google Fax.
But like Brent, hold up. I sent you a cover page, and then there's a confirmation page. So just remember, you got to wait for those to go through. You just can't leave with the information. Shit. Yeah.
All right. Sorry for the delay. We got 2 extra people, it looks like, with us. We had some technical difficulties which had to be overcome. I should be back. Am I back for you guys?
Yeah, you are.
You are there.
At last.
We're back. We're ready. We're ready to do a deep dive in Wings 2.
No, fuck this shit. I'm leaving. Why was I here? Why was I here to start with?
Why did I come back? I
didn't know I had no clue. This is why I show up. I never know where the episode's gonna go.
You'll just jump in some other podcast stream and like, hey guys,
tell you about Wings
how's
2.
It going? That place I came from, fuck that place. It's better here. So what are we talking about?
Wait, Wings 2? They made a sequel to the sitcom?
You mean the one that's You mean the one
Hi,
for the
Tony
TV show?
Shalhoub. I didn't know it was gonna end up with you.
Damn, that's the only dude I remember from that show. I know
There's
there's
another
there was
major
another dude in
actor.
there.
Yeah, there was a. He's relatively famous too. That was in it.
All right, we're developing into a Wings fandom. We can't do this to our two viewers.
Welcome to the Wings podcast.
Yeah, like a better version of Taxi. I don't know. Taxi was good too, but they just took that format. We're like, we're just gonna do it with planes. Let's go.
Premise. All right, moving on to games played. Let's go. Play a little Sea of Thieves. I played.
Oh God, no.
Oh shit! No Sea of Thieves was played.
Oh, you didn't give me the warning, man. I just had the water going down, and I was like, that almost went all across.
I had to
everything.
catch you off guard. I was like, this has become my Sea of Thieves. I'm sure people are tired of hearing about this shit. No, but I played some more Halo. Same shit. Still the same rounds.
Bridge crew.
I actually was given Bridge Crew by Russell for Christmas, so he's got it.
Have you played it yet?
We're supposed to play it. We're supposed to play it soon. I'm actually wanting to try it out, so hopefully it'll be soon. But I guess it'll be 2 randos unless y'all want to grab it. And it could be the 4 of us. Do y'all have it?
I have it, but I'd rather be playing like Hatsune Miku or
some other
random bullshit. Or I'll jump on. You know what I'll do? I'll go ahead and jump on my copy of Battleborn. I'll open that up, and then I'll just wait. I'll wait in the lobby.
Do you have Star Trek Bridge Crew? All right, we need 4. Let's go.
But
just leave it that way.
I was about to say, I could definitely try because I've seen it looks pretty decent with a couple
and
people.
Crazy shit like what we could get into. I think it'd be a good time. It would be fun with the 4 of us.
I think at some point Ubisoft usually has that thing on sale for like the complete edition for like $10 if you keep an eye out. I think that's when I got mine. I don't think I have a physical copy. It was like $10. It's $10. I bought worse than $10. I mean, I bought Battleborn for about $10. So, and that's just nothing now. So
nothing much on the Halo front. Same shit like I was saying. Not much more in Metroid Prime. I almost quit the game. It almost broke me. I talked last week about having to get from place to place with the save points, and there's some cheap stuff like the turrets will knock you off into the fire and fuck you up. So there was a point I was trying to get to. We're all familiar with the morph ball in Metroid. And you lay a bomb to bounce the morph ball up. So there's a place I'm trying to get to, and there's these blocks that I thought were indestructible. So I drop a bomb on one of the blocks. Oh yeah, you see where this is going. So I dropped the bomb to try to jump up, and I didn't make it. So I hit another one, and it drops me down into the lava, which I should have fucking planned this out beforehand. So I'm like, fuck. And it's just like, it's just taking my health down nonstop. And so I'm trying to bomb back up to get up back on the platform, and the block regenerates, and I'm back just hitting my head. And I was like, nope. I quit for the night. That's
Metroid.
I lost maybe
Metroid.
35, 45 minutes of progress. And all I had gotten was like a missile upgrade or maybe 2. So it wasn't drastic, but I had kind of sat down. And the time before that, I guess that's since the last podcast too, I had sat down with the guide like, okay, I beat these bosses so far, but I only had 2 energy tanks. I had the one you start with, and then like the first one that they kind of give you in a space that you roll out and get. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go for a hunt. And I actually picked up 2 more. I kind of looked at the guide and made sure I had the right equipment and got those from some areas I've already been to. But the game stays amazing. I just got a copy of Metroid Prime 2 in. I didn't have that for GameCube for some reason. Also didn't have Pikmin 2, which has gotten super expensive somehow. So that one's on its way too. But that game's incredible, man. I've been playing a lot more GameCube. What are the kids playing? Is there a kids update? They played Shrek 2. Did I talk about that last week?
Yeah.
They begin that journey. I think you were talking about it. And how differently that plays. And all the voice actors sound
awesome. So they're playing some of that still. I'm trying to teach them to save their progress. They're not used to that in games. So just like I was talking about the saves in Metroid Prime, like, no, you have to actually hit start and go to save game. And we've learned how to read the difference between load game and save game because we've gotten lost in those menus before where we just go back and forth. And we don't want to save over ourselves. So we had a lesson about that. Let it be on Shrek 2 and not on something crazy. And then what else?
Metroid Prime 1.
Yeah, that's coming when they erase my Metroid Prime save. What
Would you finish it?
No, that'd be it. That'd be it for me. I'd be like, nope. It will be the next time I attempt it in 5 years. I'll be trying it again.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. I don't want to derail this too much, but is it because of how the age of that game? I mean, at that point, like one little thing derails you and it's over. Like just because how old that game is and how we've been kind of spoiled recently in the last couple of generations.
It's not so much that as it is like the discovery of rolling of like just the exploration and how it unfolds. I don't want to. It's fresh on my mind. I don't want to do those bits again. It won't have the same impact on me.
Is it pacing?
Yeah, the pacing's impeccable, and then the exploration, like stumbling onto stuff. I won't have that same sense of discovery. Yeah. It'll just be going through the motions to try to get back to the same place.
I mean, there's another game out there that you can have that. It's called Hollow Knight, and somebody beat that game. So,
didn't you compare Control to Metroid Prime a little bit with like the 3D, you know, as it unfolds and having to scan the environment for clues and lore and things like that?
That one, I mean, you pick up articles throughout the game. There's like files or and everything's still fucking classified. So there's sometimes I'm going through a file and there's like redacted information on there, and I'm like I don't know what any of this sometimes means. It leaves it ambiguous to the player to kind of just figure out sometimes. So it gives you a general idea of like a certain like alter world events, like, but it just all depends. I mean, you have if you press up, you get the overhead map, kind of like every other like Metroidvania type game, where it gives you certain areas and it tells like you got to go here, and then over here it's this research department, this department here, and you know it kind of forces you to go and it shows you like different paths to get there, but there's no like then they have like control points which are like save states. So I mean, there's some parts in there where they took from Metroidvania from that aspect. And you don't really do scans though. I mean, you can go through the game without having to pick up those documentations. That's just added for the additional lore. I mean, so it just all depends.
There's only certain things in this game you do have to scan, like elevators and stuff like that. As far as what you were talking about to modernize it, I wouldn't change anything about this game. The only things that would modernize it are playing it on newer platforms and having the benefits that those provide. Like, you know, if I want to stop a session, I have to find a save state or a place to save, or I have to leave the GameCube running until I can come back in, 4 or 5 hours, whatever it is. So just being able to put like a switch to sleep, or, you would close the lid on a DS, or it wasn't the SP, you could hit like LR and select or something to put it to sleep and close the lid. So that's what it would benefit from, is those modern touches like that, and not having to get to a place to actually stop and save. Because
well, I mean, just what I mean, like when you go through the game, that's an older. I mean, that's a retro game. So, like, I'm saying versus, there's some things that piss you off. Like if you gotta like redo, like you said, redo something again. Yeah. I'm more inclined to dump that game because I'm so used to like PS4, PS5, maybe a little bit of PS3, where like it says, it'll auto save. I don't have to sit there and do bullshit over and over again. Like Control gets me like that sometimes too, where I saved something previously and I just jumped in that save recently, and like all that stuff I did before didn't save because it was whatever that control point was before then. And I was trying to get to the next one before we started this podcast, and I now have to do all that bullshit again because I didn't get to the control point, which is their
you didn't
save
just put it in rest mode and wait.
Well, I fucking died, so I'm gonna have to respawn in that there. So I'm like, it just all depends. I mean, stuff like that makes me less likely.
Okay, and you missed the part where I fell in the lava, right? You were out when I was telling Brady that story. You missed the actual "fuck this game, I'll quit this game" part.
Yeah.
So I was rolling. I was trying to backtrack. Actually, I was trying to jump up on a ledge, and when you bomb ledges in Metroid, to move yourself up, right? So I was on this thing. I didn't know it could break. So I ended up dropping down into the lava. And then as I was trying to bomb myself back up out of that to get out of it, the block regenerated, and I'm just hitting my head against the thing, and I died in the lava. And I was nowhere near. It'd been like 45 minutes since I saved. And I had only gotten a couple of missile tanks. I didn't really uncover anything, so I wasn't out that much. But it was still just like, I just wasted 45 minutes. They're gone. I'll never get that back. And it was tense, because I something had already wounded me, so the lava didn't take me all the way out, but it was enough to just. And then when that block respawned right above me as I'm trying to jump up out of the lava, I'm just like, fuck.
It's just you screaming no, right?
I did.
Like,
I did
this
whole thing. My kids were down there. They were like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I can't explain it. I just can't explain it right now."
You'll learn one day. That's all you can tell your children. Like you'll learn one day if you decide to go along with this.
If you fall
beat mine. Yeah. You will.
The only
you will
other thing
learn.
they played, I sent Cesar a picture of this. They want to play Super Monkey Ball Deluxe for the Xbox because that's they have the Xbox hooked up right now. It's kind of what they have access to. So they pick out of that collection. And they were doing some game, and it was like 4 monkeys racing. So it was the 2 of them and then 2 NPCs. And they are not doing well. I'm looking at them. They're in 3rd and 4th. It's some mini game where you have to like paddle by hitting the L and R triggers. So the baby actually quits and leaves. She doesn't like quit the game or anything. And I'm kind of knocking around. I'm filing games or something. I'm just not even paying attention. And my oldest is still playing, and she's been playing for a minute after the baby leaves. And I go to walk out, and she's in last. I'm like, what did you do to still be in last? And she's been gone for several minutes. Yeah, like, how did this happen? How did you not pass your sister? She's been out of this room forever. And you're just, like, steadily working at it. But I didn't say anything. Just leave. I just noticed, like, you're still in 4th.
You just look over there like, huh?
And the 3rd player, Monkey's, like, in a wall, just off to the side, not doing anything. And the one who's actively playing is in 4th, like, just totally giving those triggers hell, trying to catch up with everybody and nowhere close. I was like, good job. You're doing great with it. She doesn't know it, but she's going to be the beneficiary of the Cat Mario game, as they call it, coming up. They've been seeing commercials, so they are gung-ho for some Cat Mario. Anything cat related, but now that it's Cat Mario, that's the jam.
I mean, you sent me the photos of them playing the Cat Mario game, waiting for the Bowser DLC.
That's it. They're waiting for the Wii U DLC. They're just going to get that $6.99 DLC and pop it in there.
I'm waiting for Nintendo to fuck up and put it out there like they did with the Banjo-Kazooie. And be like, who did this?
There was something else leaked today that got pulled back. Was it Banjo-Kazooie? Oh, no,
you're
talking about
several
them
months
as fighters.
ago, yeah.
Oh, man, something...
No, I'm talking about... No, it was the Banjo-Kazooie games for the virtual console for the Wii U, remember? They posted on their website that was coming out, and then they were like, oh. It's like... it's like that guy in the basement was like, wait, we don't have her anymore? We don't own that company anymore? What happened? Nobody fucking tells me anything. What? No,
it's Milton down there with his stapler. We don't have Banjo-Kazooie. What do you mean? I don't have... I'll burn this place down if I don't have Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah. I follow the original plan. I mean, the Wii U's still out there. It's
still relevant, right? It has a screen. You hold the screen.
Yeah.
The screen is the game. No, the thing it just came to me. Star Wars Republic Commando leaked today for Switch.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have that in the news.
From the new Aspire company, the new Embracer Group.
Embracer, Gearbox.
Whatever that is.
Industries.
I think they acquired them in Gearbox because of mostly for their publishing of video games, probably, especially in this region.
So that was my week. Aggravation in Halo, aggravation in Metroid Prime. My kids got aggravated in Super Mario 3D World, and aggravated in the save menu of Shrek 2 for Xbox, and unknowingly aggravated and coming in last place on Super Monkey Ball Deluxe, the Xbox exclusive.
Could be worse. You could be playing Wings too.
I might after this. I might stream it. We're gonna get a request.
And finish the week off.
We've got no listener feedback in months. We're gonna play stream Wings 2, you coward. We know you have a retro tank. Stream it.
Rise of the Robots
for Saturn. Get the $107 version.
The game is so bad. It was a fighter, and they were so slow. Why did I buy that?
That was someone else I was hearing. They made this argument, like how you get this. A generation is almost defined by a type of game, right? So then you have this race within that generation, and everybody has their spin on that. So you had Capcom's fighter, you had Neo Geo's fighter, you had Rare's version of the fighter, and then it was shooters, and you have this version of this shooter, and it's just kind of like these things across generations, and that was always interesting to me. And you had these god awful fighting games come out of that one. Nightmares.
It's fucking Acclaim. What did they have? Before I start my games played, if I go in here, Google Acclaim.
They published a lot of stuff. Like, did they do the first Turok under Iguana? Didn't they publish that one? Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
Fighters, Super Nintendo.
Gonna find some trash.
It's gonna be 100% trash. I look at it. I'm gonna be. I'm gonna look at it, and we're just gonna keep going, and I'll be like, because all I see is Rise of the Robots. They for some reason they did. I forgot they did do Mortal Kombat 2.
They did that port.
They also did NBA Jam. This I guess before Midway. This is they might have been before.
Those
Midway
are the console ports. I'm pretty sure. They didn't do the arcade ones. I think those were console ports.
No, these are all console ports because it's every version of Mortal Kombat 2, Super Nintendo, Genesis, Game Boy, 32X, Game Gear, PlayStation, Sega Saturn, Sega Master System.
They were the Aspire of
Mortal Kombat 2 and Sega
arcade games. What was that, Brant? Oh, I cut somebody off. I guess I'm so sorry.
No, it was just me. They also did X-Men: Children of the Atom for PlayStation and Sega Saturn.
That one's not bad.
Hell yeah.
I own that one. I'm looking at it right now. X-Men: Children of the Atom.
It's not bad. There's a diamond in the rough. Also thinking about all the casual games that came out kind of in that generation, like everybody started to push, you had your Wii Sports and Sports Champions and Kinect Sports, like there had to be that same type thing that they were chasing that stuff.
Whoa, don't forget, don't shit on PlayStation Heroes, man. That was the one.
PlayStation Heroes. What was that in comparison to? For just casual?
That was their move. That was their move, whatever. What you play, was it with Jack? You played
Sports Champions? That was it. That was their Wii Sports.
No, it's that's the one I don't care about. PlayStation Heroes.
Oh god, make it for VR. Make PlayStation Heroes 2 for VR, you cowards.
Yeah, fucking do it. Don't make another Jack game. Make a PlayStation Heroes. That's the one I want to play. Jack.
All right, whose games played is up next? We've been rambling forever.
Simple. Mine is finished up a Control like over the weekend. Beat that. It's a really fucking good game still, man.
We got the DLC on that version on PS5, right? Have you started any of that?
That is what I just started. I started the Alan Wake one, where you're going through and it's like a whole new floor. So like the way that game works is like you ride an elevator to different sectors, different floors that give you. I guess that's their way of doing different levels of like a Metroid or a Castlevania game where you have different floors and more rooms that kind of spread throughout those floors. That's how they separate them. So in this one you have like a whole new floor, and it's like it's like an ethics sector or something like that. It's like where you go to file complaints on somebody internally. What do they call it? The name escapes me.
HR.
Not HR. Not human resources, but it's kind of like fuck is on the tip of my tongue. It's like they always have them with the police movies where they have. They always come in like, we got to run an investigation for internal blah blah blah.
Background
internal
check?
Something.
Internal
affairs. It might be internal affairs where they always have like where they have cops investigate cops for illegal stuff. I think it's internal affairs. So like you go into this whole sector where I think it's called internal affairs, where you get like this message and you see something from like Alan Wake, and he's like you get bits and pieces of it where she sees him and he's having this conversation about his experience, and she's aware of him. She's like, I know his whole thing was like a whole Alter World event, AWE is what they call it. And she goes down to this floor, and like this whole sector right now is like an investigation into the whole previous director and all that stuff that was kind of doing shady stuff in the original game. Like if you get the lore in there and the laddered files in there, you kind of see somebody was investigate them for kind of like pushing the limits of what they're doing with these Alter World events, items and objects of power, OP. And so I haven't gotten that far. I'm probably halfway through it. So as I go through, it's like Alan Wake is narrating like he did in his games. Like he's typing in the typewriter. It kind of like talking Jesse. Like then she goes and follows this way. She's like narrating her story, but you're playing as Jesse. And so like he's like I think he just narrated this part where I'm about to fight this villain. So I think that's what I'm about to go to next. And I was like, all right, I see some kind of weird fucking stick thing that's walking around in the vents. And I was like, I guess I'll have to fight that. I mean, this game, like, this part of the DLC is very different from the original game. The original game is more like a sci-fi one. This one's mixed with, like, the whole environment from Alan Wake, where it has, like, that sci-fi horror-esque, where I have to deal with the darkness and a lot of stuff from the Alan Wake's in there where you have to flash the lights and kill the darker parts that was, like, blocking doors and areas. And I have to do that, too. I think I like, carry around this whole light thing to kill them and stuff like that. So it uses a lot of elements in there. So I haven't met him yet. You get these like brief visions, like where he's just like rambling into a typewriter, like narrating her story. I think that was the first thing I did DLC wise. I mean, I can't really talk about the end of Control because I don't want to ruin it for everybody, so I'll just leave it at that. I mean, nothing really changes outside of that. I love that fucking game. Outside of that, I did play End of Zoe, which was the final DLC that I was willing to play in Resident Evil 7, which totally negates the whole fucking bad ending because it's like the character that's infected in the bad ending this is kind of like her story, but it takes place after the good ending. So it's like I don't understand what the bad ending was there for.
Is
so
this a
whatever.
canon bit or what? How does this tie in?
It is canon, and I don't want to go too much into the story because I know Brant's going to play it, and I don't want to ruin it for everybody. So I'll go more into the gameplay. So you play like Uncle Baker who sees Zoe again. She's trying to save his niece. I'm not going to say what happened to her, why, because you need to play the game to find out that part. But you play this unknown Baker who's not affected whatsoever like the other Baker family, and he's trying to get the cure for his niece or something. And so he plays completely different because in this game you don't use, in the original game he plays Ethan who has a gun, he gets a shotgun, handgun, all that stuff. He uses no guns. Well, unless you replay it again, you unlock a gun later on. He uses no guns in this. He uses his fists. So he's like one of those older gentlemen, like 60 years old but super buff, like one of those weird Sylvester Stallone type characters that's trying to act a movie. So like he's like wrestling gators and stuff like that. It's like he's taking growth hormones because he shouldn't have muscles at that age, but. So yeah, you go through and it's like the triggers are tied to the left trigger's tied to the left fist and the right trigger's tied to the right fist, and it works surprisingly well. It's so you're just going through and you're beating the shit out of these mole creatures or their version of the zombies in the game as you just punch them in the face, and then depending on the triggers, if you hit certain ones, you hit left and then right twice, and then he'll end up doing like this combo and stuff like that, and they call it the Queensberry combo or something like that. So like there's different combos in that game. It's not a very long game. I think I ended up just doing it easy just to get through it, just to see what it was. I didn't do the normal like I normally do. It's probably about an hour and a half, but it plays very different from the original game. It has its own flavor, which I liked a lot.
I wonder if that spawned out of a scrapped idea or something.
Probably, because I didn't go into details about this, and I don't want to ruin it too much. There's a certain aspect in that game. There's a young girl, and she's part of the gameplay in this game. I won't say what she is. But a lot of these ideas, and when I went back and looked into it, the guy who's a game director for this game that kind of did the cinematic direction for this game was one of the first ones. He's not originally Japanese, so he did it for this game. He came from another studio, but he came from the same studio who did Monolith, that did Fear. So that same girl reminded me of the girl from Fear. And a lot of the stuff she does in there was from Fear. So a lot of the stuff they have from those Fear games back in the day, it's kind of in this. And then he went with that horror thing because I guess he went with what he knew. But which worked. I'm gonna leave it alone. That game's fucking great. You just gotta play when you get a chance. Outside of that, this DLC is pretty cool. Like you also get you'll make like spears, like harpoons, and so you'll cross the swamps and you'll see gators, and you gotta harpoon the gators because you can't punch them obviously, because they'll pull you under. So I'm going through and I'm just punching the mole, harpooning gators, and then there's the boss, and I won't say what the boss is in this game because it'll ruin the story and kind of ruin the beginning, ruin the story in the main part. It kind of connects to the first main part story. That one of the villains from the main game crosses over in this one, so I'll leave it at that. But he fucking looks just like Swamp Thing. Like he has that little, he almost looks like Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean. He has like the whole octopus thing and stuff like that. He's just walking around. It's like I'm sitting there beating the shit out of him, and he just pops back up every time. It's like this fucker will not fucking die, man. So at some point at the very end of the game, you get one of those. You get a prototype weapon from an unknown company. I don't want to ruin it for Brent because I know he's going to eventually play it. But there's a company in there that we all know very well. They make a prototype gauntlet, so he wears it in his left hand, and it kind of changes up the battle aspects on there. Because when you do the final boss battle, you have to hold down the left trigger, and it goes charging, and it goes midway charging, and it ends up doing like the super power echo punch, which is pretty cool because I had like 3 or 4 molded creatures in front of me, and I charge it up, and it'll send an echo blast and like kill them all and like throw them back there. It's really OP. So I had a lot of fun with that.
The main game.
It is something like it is worth it, man. I mean, because if you wanted to do something more than the main game, they'll have the band footage, volume 1, volume 2, which is kind of like it's those VHS tapes. There's 3 VHS tapes in that game where it kind of shows stories for different parts on there. There's one in there, Brant. Pay attention to the final VHS tape. It helps you solve the puzzle later on in the game. I didn't realize that until I kept dying many times. Outside of that, this one kind of like shows families or people that family have taken in before because they've been doing this for like the last 3 years. And have you watched Demon Slayer, Brent?
Mm-mm.
All right, so you won't get this reference, so I can actually tell this one. Yeah, but you remember the Spider family, Rui, the kid? That's the whole story for Resident Evil 7. That's what's happening.
Nice.
It's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing. I can tell you that what he was doing in that game and what he was trying to do with those people around him is the exact same thing.
That must be some sort of folklore legend, now you know like the Skulltula people from Ocarina of Time. That must be some sort of folklore thing.
I mean, that's the motivations. They're not the same type, but that's their motive. That's that one. The main villain's motivations. Let's put it that way. It's the exact same thing. They were trying to recreate the exact same thing he was trying to do. So, and I'll leave it at that. But yeah, the band footage is just kind of like a continuation of the original game. So I wasn't interested in that, but I did. I'm glad I did do the end of Zoe, which was pretty good. And I don't know if that means certain people will show up in the sequel or not. I don't know. We'll see. But it looks canon. Outside of that, I did pop in Neo, since I had the original games and I got the remaster for free. I did the first one. I got the upgrade. Played it a little bit. I think I got up to the first boss, which was Derek, the Executioner. I can't believe there's an Executioner named Derek.
It's a very plain name. It's not very intimidating.
It is, man. It is. But somebody's got to have that name. I mean, I can't shit on the Derek. They all can't be Cesar.
The Cesar hordes are coming out.
But yeah. Shit. Oh man, I saw that tweet. I was like, "Yep, I'm gonna retweet that shit." It's that time of the year.
Make sure, Brant. This is a big deal. I know we haven't really talked about this yet, but it's a pretty big fucking deal. Please fill out your ballot. You'll never hear the end of it.
Yeah. Cesar awards, man. We only give them out once a year, man. Oh, I love reading articles like, and so won the Cesar for best sound. I'm like, yeah, damn right he did. That shit was
and there's always a Cesar of the year, which is what we're always hinging on. So we always.
Oh man, yeah, you got to get down there. We voted out that other Cesar that was crazy.
You destroyed
shit to CNN, so. We kicked him out. I was like, no.
There's the best Cesar of art and design. There's the best sound editing and visual editing Cesar.
Also was last year's winner Cesar in best art direction.
Where does it come from? What are they actually for?
It's an award season for movies. It's kind of like I don't know if it's like I think it might be France's version of the Oscars.
Yeah.
Kind of like the BAFTAs is for Britain. I think this is a big thing in France. So.
And the Cesar goes too.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I call it the BAFTA.
But it's just awards going to other Cesars. It's a convening of multiple Cesars.
Oh gosh. So it's like that's like most of the movie of being John Malkovich. So it's just a bunch of people in the room and they're all Cesar and it's Cesar.
That's it. They all got the Cesar. Says, hi, my name's Cesar.
Yeah. Cesar.
That just reminds me of like Spies Like Us. Doctor.
Oh, hell.
Doctor. Yeah, so I fired up Neo and I downloaded the upgrade and all I can tell from it is
it sounds like
I don't know, man. I mixed messages on that upgrade. Because, it doesn't really use haptic feedback. I think the only thing you get on the resistance for the triggers is when you use a bow and arrow. Nothing else in that game uses that. There's no haptic feedback in that game whatsoever. I can't confirm this, but I think I've read on another review, and I'm just going to quote, I think it was IGN, and I need to find the name so I can properly credit that person, or if somebody can look it up for me as I talk about this. That'd be great. I think in the IGN review, they noticed that the load times wasn't that much faster.
Really?
I think it was like a second faster. They said actually if you install the base PS4 game on there, it runs just almost as fast as the PS5 one. So they said there's not really much added to that game. The only thing I can confirm that I tried for myself is that I did the original. I did the cinematic 4K mode, and that was 60 frames per second, which was pretty smooth. And then I went to the 120 frames per second, which was like butthole. It was like a PS3 game. And I didn't notice a fucking difference from the 60 frames per second. That one kind of hiccuped on me a little bit more, believe it or not. So it was pretty smooth. But I think I was satisfied doing the 4K and get the better graphics at 60 frames per second. I don't think I was missing anything. So, but that 120 frames per second, it looked like a PS3 game. It looked like one of those, like one of those big, it was like those gear. It looked like the ode to the Gears of War days, where like we're just gonna make these character models and put on everything on that generation. Was it Quantum Theory? It looked like they just took the character models from Quantum Theory from that game. They're just like walking around and big and bulky. And it looks so bland. It doesn't have, but it runs great. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the 120 frames per second. I just don't know if it runs enough for me to notice the difference. I'm sure somebody does, but I think I noticed more hiccups on that 120 frames per second than I noticed in the 60 frames. And it wasn't much, but there's like some weird frame pacing at some point where you kind of glance it on there. But I think I did the first boss battle in the cinematic 4K 60, and I did it in 120 frames per second. And I was confident enough, like, okay, I'm just gonna go with the 60 frames per second, the cinematic one. And then most people don't know Neo was in the vein of Dark Souls types games, and I don't know. This one kind of clicks for me a little bit better than Dark Souls does. So I got the whole aspect where I just focus in on that character and just stand back and dodge all the fucking time and learn the basics, and I'm okay. I'm moving through.
What is it about it?
So
what is it about it that makes
to,
that click versus a Dark Souls? Is it the?
I think it's the same thing because I think I have a different mindset when I went in there. I knew this was going to be a Dark Souls game because I think I originally bought this game for whatever reason it fell to the wayside. I never played it on the PS4. I bought Neo 2. I think Neo 2 was supposed to be like a prequel in story-wise, if I remember reading somewhere. And I was like, well, let me start Neo 2. That way, maybe I'll enjoy the story better that way. Man, that was a fucking mistake because I think they took the aspects like I think these people played Neo 1 and we made the changes in Neo 2, and I was like, it never clicked for me. I just went through and I'm like, I'm dying all the fucking time like every other Dark Souls. You just have to be patient. That's all it is. I think this one, when I went into it, I was like, I'm just gonna be patient. I know I'm gonna have to. I can't play this game like I play every other game where I'm just running in the room and just like kill, and all right, move on to the next segment and move on to the next bit. That's not how it works. I have to sit there and watch the enemies, watch their movements, use fucking tables and other things in the environment to like block hits and get out the way. It's just something you have to have in your head to be very patient with. And for whatever reason, this one seems to click with me pretty well. So I don't know. I'll keep fucking with it and see if maybe I might beat it. We'll see. I don't know. I didn't get far with it because, like I said, that was in between my control and all that. I just wanted to play something just to see if it was any different from control and the end of Zoe. And to the bequest of no one, and to the request of none of you guys, because I know when the last podcast we talked about, you guys were not a fan of Bugsnax. I went through and I beat Bugsnax, beat the game. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I don't know what it was.
It's a spot.
I went through the very tutorial. Sucked ass. It almost scared me away because it was too slow and the game is kind of out there. The story is a lot better as it progresses.
I'm still in that tutorial area.
Yeah.
But what kept me going was this game was fucking Ape Escape all over it. Oh my god. I'm just sitting there setting up traps and different attributes to catch these Bugsnax was fun. That's the most fun part. As they give me different gadgets, like there is one where you get a launch pad, and then you have your original trap, and you open it up, and it opens up like this net where you kind of like shows you a capture radius. And I had to launch it to get like different Bugsnax up in the air and then capture it at the same time. So there's a lot of tricks in that game you have to do to capture the Bugsnax characters in there, and each one is different. So they have that aspect. They all have that aspect like they are similar like Pokemon where they say their names on there like over and over and over, or whatever. Yeah. It's like Burtle Snacks or something like that, and that's all they communicate as. And they have different attributes on how to capture them. So some of them you can't just walk up and just capture them. Some of them are heavy types. You have to have them to collide with another Bugsnax to flip over, or you have to collide into something to flip over. And then you get different condiments in this game, since this is a whole like food-based game. So you get ketchup, cheese, chocolate, hot sauce, and only certain Bugsnax revolve around certain condiments. So you can use those to kind of trick them to catch them. And there's certain ones that hate that condiment. So like there's times where I have to sit there and get a Bugsnax with that condiment, and somebody's chasing me down trying to beat my ass up because I use that condiment and hate it. So I'm sitting there like, fucking go away! I'm trying to capture this thing. So the most thing that the thing I enjoyed in this game the most was just the whole problem solving and how to capture each one. Each one has a different one. Then some of them are straightforward. Some of them you have to look at the environment and like, okay, there's a zip line that goes across, and I have to have them trip over the zip line. Then they'll get out of sync, and then I got to run over there and capture them. There's some that are like banana splits, which are frozen. And if I use my net, I freeze. So I have to find a way to thaw them before I can catch them. So that's the aspect that I enjoyed the most in that game, was as you get through that game, you open up, and each one is a different puzzle of how to capture them. And so, like I said, I went through the story. The story's not that bad. It starts off kind of slow, and it's very kind of heartwarming towards the end. It does pay off pretty well. As you go through the game, it's like you capture these Bugsnax, and they'll give you motivations for each character that you interact with. The game gives you different motivation. There's like one trying to be a rancher. And most of them just want to eat them. And as they eat them, whatever they eat, their body parts will change to that Bugsnax. So like if you eat like the fries, like there's a fry one, I forgot what the name was, but
Frider.
It is Frider. Yeah. They'll turn one of the arms to a fry or turn a leg to a fry. And they'll give you like each village or whatever in that village, that member or that person in the village, they'll give you like different aspects. You can do like these little side quests where like, oh, capture this, capture that. And as you go through, I think I'm at the part now where I've already beaten the game. And I was like, I went back into it and I'm trying to finish it out now. Because there's, they call these legendary Bugsnax, which is kind of like their legendary Pokemon. And like there's this at the very beginning of the game, as you remember, you get knocked off your air blimp by a giant mozzarella pizza. That's one of the legendary ones, and that one is like fucking.
Saw that thing go
difficult
flying
as hell.
over,
Like,
right?
I have to like. Yeah, there's like you have to go to like a scorching lands, and he's flying up above, and you have to like I have to set this trap where I have this gun with the rope down here where I know he's gonna trap into it. I got to use this other bug snack who shoots wind up into the air, and I have to drop these bombs in there, and it's a whole bunch of fucking timing at the same time, and it is a fucking pain in the ass, but when you get in, it pays off, and it's so fucking rewarding. It's like, damn, that was good, that was kind of worth it. So. I don't know, man. It just, I think the whole thing it plays like Ape Escape so much, like Ape Escape. I've been wanting to play fucking Ape Escape for so long. That's what
you're selling me on it. You sounds like you turned it into a puzzle game.
That's what it is. It is a puzzle game. That whole beginning, that whole tutorial, that hand holding in the very beginning, it kind of almost turned me away. But once you get past that, and I think after the first hour, everything started to click. So it's like I actually started doing like that fucking Pokemon shit where I looked at my book, you get this little book, and I'm like, okay. You get the camera, kind of like a Pokemon Snap, which I'm assuming I never play Snap. You have to take pictures, and they'll give you all their stats and everything like that. And then they'll tell you, like, all right, this one only flies at 4 p.m. to 4 p.m. at night, so I got to come back at night, which is not a big deal because I can jump into a bed and sleep every 5-hour intervals and stuff like that. So there's all these little problem-solving aspects in there. It's a very well done game. It's very deep. It doesn't seem like it when you look at it. It seems like it's a very shallow game. And I'm not saying that. I don't make games, and that's rude for me to say. But it's that impression that I got originally when I jumped in there. Because, I saw a lot of, fanfare online talk about how great this game was. And I jumped into it at the very beginning, kind of like you guys. And I'm like, I
might not be for
don't know
me.
if I see this. But it clicks, man. It fucking clicks when you get to the Ape Escape part. I love it, man. At this point, I still fired it up. I'm done with the game. I'm still firing it up just to catch different bug snacks here and there. So if I got bored, I got an extra 15, 30 minutes. I'm like, I'll fire it up. And I'm like, all right, got to get this fucker. I look at my books. Like, I haven't got him yet. And I'm sitting there like, all right, how do I get him? Like, there's one where I have to use a hot sauce to get him down there, and the problem is they have these little potatoes that jump around, and I think they call them poppers or something like that, and they're attracted to the hot sauce, and it scares off the fucking scorpion thing, and I'm sitting there like, fuck, what am I gonna do? I figure like, all right, I gotta get rid of these guys first, and I gotta figure out how to get rid of them. So like, it turns to this whole thing, and it's rewarding. It pays off. I do recommend it if you want to give it another go. It does take time, and it may not click for you, but I mean, I think if you are a fan of Ape Escape. Maybe a little bit like Pokemon. The story's good. Like I said, the story's good. I don't go into details about it. It is kind of heartwarming. It seems shallow in the beginning, but it pays off well. And as you learn about the characters, and each one is represented well and voice act very well. But the story's good. It's good. It's a good game. It's a very good overall for a game we got for free too.
The first PS5 Plus title.
But yeah, that's it, man. That's everything I played. It's all on your shoulders, Brant.
Bring us home, Brant.
Champion Brant. Bring us home. Hopefully it's some more Animal Crossing, Brant. Talk about that fish, Brant.
Well, one of the first things I booted up just to see, I loaded up Destruction All-Stars.
I've been meaning to play that.
And played a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely over the top, which is what it's kind of going for. It's not bad. I can see it being one of those games where some people might get on there and stream it, and it could be fun with maybe a team. I've been playing the only mode I played a few games of. It was like a kind of a free for all, and so to me it reminds me kind of like a Rocket League. Rocket League type game, but it's also got the style of like a almost a driving sim, because you can drift and things like that, and so you pick your character. Each character is unique. They kind of go with that same kind of hero type thing where you pick a character. That character has abilities, and I didn't dive too deep into that. I chose a couple different characters and played around with it. But it's different, it's unique, and it's definitely something you can have fun with. Like I said, the mode I played was kind of just a free for all. So I hopped into my car. You start off the game and it's just 3, 2, 1, go, and it shows your character like running like hell and jumping off this ledge. And it's a free for all trying to get into one of these vehicles, and then you might have another character on top of your vehicle, and there's a mini game.
Did you play Bad Guy?
Bad Guy? Yeah, oh yes. It's actually it's a box. It's a box. I thought it was a bag too.
Am I mixing him up with Foss from Guilty Gear? Is that what it is?
I don't know, maybe.
Where's like a I'm talking about brown paper bag over there. Yeah, and he's like looks like a fucking what's Slender Man.
But yeah, you if somebody else jumps onto your car or you jump onto somebody's car, it initiates this quick time event, and it's basically who can perform better at it. So it's just press this button or toggle left stick or whatever, and if
don't blink twice. All right, never mind, you're back. All
right. Robot Brant emerges.
You're like this too.
You're
like
that.
Your eyes were like that too. Like you're looking down.
I just heard meh. I was like, what the heck?
You have my syndrome from last week.
Damn. But anyway,
you're good. You're good now.
So you can shake the person off, or if they do the quick time event better, they have the option to either take over your car or wreck you. Oh. And so everything's based on a point system. If you
check yourself first.
Yeah.
If you hit another player, if you hit a car, if you scrape them, if you wreck them, if all of that is based on your points that you gather, and that's how you score up on your leaderboard. So you run around, you're trying to wreck people. You have a forward directional boost and a side directional boost that can help you slam into other cars to do more damage. There's 3 different cars that are on the battlefield. There's like a really small, very agile, quick car. There's kind of like the mid-sized car. It handles still pretty relatively well. It's got a little bit more health than the smaller car. And then the third vehicle, of course, is going to be the big beefy vehicle. It's usually like a big truck or represented as like a huge SUV kind of thing. It moves a little slower, not as agile, but does a lot of damage. And so then you can
have the tank, we have the
collect
healer.
Shards.
What is the third one? We have the 3 tropes. DPS or is DPS tank?
DPS is tank.
Mm-hmm.
But you can also hop out of the vehicle at any time and run around. You can dodge. You can climb up on these platforms, collect all these little shards and things, and then you can activate.
Doing that? In a game about racing cars around and running people over, what is the benefit of getting out of the car?
Well, either if you are wrecked, you'll have to get out of your car. It'll immediately eject you, and then you're running around like crazy trying to get in another vehicle or hop on another person's vehicle and steal that. Which again, if you steal their vehicle, you're getting points, or wreck them, by that you get points. You can collect these little shards that are around the stage, and that builds up like your special. And also you have your special that's just unique to the character, and then you can also unlock the character car. So once you have built that up enough, you can just summon the character car. It'll pop up on the map, and it's the car only you can get in and you can enter, and you have it until that car wrecks. And of course, that car is going to be specially themed and have a special ability tied to it as well,
or a limit break.
Yeah,
yeah,
basically. It's definitely an interesting little game. And something, if I have a few minutes here or there, I could see myself jumping into it, playing it a little bit. But like I said, it's probably, with it being tied to PlayStation, I could see it being something that, it might be popular for streamers or something.
Which is what they're going for, right? That's
and
what you want. That's what you want your game to get adopted by, so it's in front of all those eyes.
I don't know, as far as longevity or something. I was hoping that it would be kind of like maybe like a Rocket League, maybe with Twisted Metal thrown in there, and something like that. But I mean, there's not really any weapons unless you count the character specific cars, because I mean, some of the cars have like they can spew fire out of the back, or they have like a buzzsaw thing on the front. The little box head guy, he throws out like these little random little packages, and they can like disable vehicles and slow them down, things like that. But I mean, yeah, mainly it's just you're trying to crash into other people and wreck their vehicles, do as much damage as you can.
Is it fun?
But yeah, it's actually it's actually pretty fun. I mean, it was enough to hold me in, and it was one of those things. I was like, yeah, I'll play a match and see how it goes, and then that wasn't bad. I'll play another match, and then I'll play another match, and by the time I was like, oh yeah, I've already spent 45 minutes, an hour in this game.
So they're quick enough. Basically, the matches are not long. And
out.
They're not like a fucking PUBG with fucking cars.
And I could definitely see that maybe PUBG doing some of the team based PUBG.
Man, we would get. I mean, it'd be 45 minutes, and I'd be shaking at the end of it, win or lose. I'd put the controller down if we made it in that final like 5 or so. I'd be fucking shaking because my nerves were just shot.
As you get run down by somebody in the car into a tree,
and then
there's
that one patch that was just nonstop Mad Max in the very final bit. Yep.
Until they finally nerf cars, because I remember cars were overpowered and everybody just jumped in cars. That was our original.
Those developers left once they nerfed the cars. They were like, "Fuck this! This is what we had in mind. We're gonna go make our dream."
They're like, "Cars is life. Let's get out of here."
I need to try this out. We all need to play this again. We all need to play this. We mentioned it again. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely something I could see definitely being fun, even more fun with a group of people
that can actually work together, basically, like not like randos and Apex Legends.
Yeah, I looked it up because that was one thing is I wanted to see if maybe I could do a split screen, but it is one player. I think it's up to online 16 player or something like that.
System link.
But yeah, it's single player. I don't know. I didn't see anything about system link.
Look on the back of the box. The $70 box.
Oh. And then let's see. I'll go into Infamous first. So I'm wearing my Infamous beanie. I actually talked about last week how I had gotten the neon powers from Fetch, who you meet her. She's like the second conduit you meet and absorb her powers. And then I had the little power outage and didn't know if my game saved. But thankfully, autosave was kind to me.
Yeah, the video game guys graced your save, your game progress.
So everything was still there when I booted up.
Did the PlayStation yell at you?
So I continued playing.
Rebuilding database.
Yeah. Rebuild database.
This is what I wanted, just to randomly shut down stuff.
I chose this. I pulled the plug on it.
Yep. Yeah, that's all I do. I don't turn you off. I just pull the plug every time.
So, but I was able to start right up, continue my story. I met Eugene, which is the third conduit, who's kind of like this like shut-in kind of nerdy type guy. He was, picked on in school, and then found out that he had, they call them video powers, and he basically controls and makes these characters that are from like his favorite MMO, and they're like they appear as like these angels or these demons basically. And I think the game is like Hell or Hellfire or Heaven and Hellfire or something like that was the game they called in the thing. So and then you get those video powers, and then I continued playing through the story and everything. And of course the main goal is to get to the head of the DUP, this army-like organization who's been hunting down these conduits, because all of these people that you've met have been escaped conduits, and she's hunting them down. She heads this prison that's specifically for conduits. You finally get to her, and you find out her backstory, and the whole reason for this, because I don't remember if I said, when you first encounter her at the beginning of the game, her power is based on concrete, and she turns people into statues and all that stuff. And so to try and get you to talk, she does that, and it basically juts concrete through like your legs and all this other stuff, and she basically tortures all the people in your community and leaves them with these concrete in your legs. So the driving force was to hunt her down, get that concrete power, and try and heal everybody in your community. And so to do that, you've forged these alliances with these other escaped conduits. You absorbed their powers and have this final showdown, and you find out that she was ex-military. She was in the original Empire City
from the first two,
and she got turned into a conduit, and then she trekked through the city where all these civilians were like hunting down conduits and trying to kill them. And then when the army came, she thought that they were going to be helpful and restore order, but then they were really on the side of the people, and they also wanted to hunt conduits down. So she proved her worth by basically capturing, showing that she could capture and bring conduits in. And this was her way of protecting them, was by putting them into this prison where they wouldn't be killed. But also,
this game took place. Her side story took place before this game, right?
Yeah,
if I remember correctly, because that kind of explains what her motivation was for the original game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sounds like a Magneto type deal.
Mm-hmm. But she was performing like experiments on the conduits, and basically teaching them how to kill and all this. And then she even during the game, while these conduits have escaped, she's making them out to be the bad guys, but she's the one that's taught them all these skills and how to kill and how to do this and that.
It's Stockholm syndrome, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was. Yeah.
And she basically even says, well, without a bad guy, we don't stay in business. The DUP, this army like division. And so
wrong game.
So of course, with me being the infamous playthrough, bad decision only, the game's going to end with me facing off with her and killing her. And so I finish that point, go back home to finish and help save my people. And like I said, the decisions that you make overall, it doesn't seem like it has a huge effect. It'll change some of the cutscenes with some interactions in the game. But like
deep breath, Brent.
The main points. Uh oh. Am I back?
Yeah, you are. You are now. It's like a deep breath in there.
It just sounded like you're like that. Yeah.
Dang.
Brent took a draw.
But overall, the main highlights from the game are still going to be there, of course.
Yeah.
But at the very end, so you go back home, and like one of the sweet old lady who you've talked with and then kind of brushed off since you're now being a dick in this playthrough, she comes to the door and she scolds you. She's like, I saw you on the news. I saw you kill all those people. I saw you do this, do that. And he's like, do you not realize I did all this for you guys? Like, I'm here to save you. And without me, you're screwed. You're gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
And she basically casts you out. She's like, we don't want your help. We don't need you. And so she closes the door in his face, and like, I guess in this fit of rage, it does the that like super move that he does, where he like takes off in the air and comes back down, and then it just fades to black and credits start going. I'm like, oh shit, man, that was actually I was like, the ending is so good.
That's harsh for that type of playthrough.
Yeah. But I had a lot of fun with this game. I mean, this game came out in 2014. And gosh, Sucker Punch makes some good shit. They make good games.
They always have.
They make really, really good games.
They always have. Mm-hmm.
And with this being on that PlayStation collection, if you haven't experienced this, either playthrough, it's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a very good one.
Any PS5 benefits? Probably fast loading.
Yeah, it definitely loads a little bit faster.
Yeah.
I haven't really noticed too much. I mean, I'd have to like go back and forth between PS4, PS5. But other than that, no. It's actually, I'm probably going to go back and platinum it, because I think I'm like 7 trophies away.
Okay.
And I mean, years ago when this game came out, I was so into it. I already did most of the harder stuff, because there was all sorts of trophies and stuff tied to the
save this area, save the zone, clear all the enemies.
Well, not even that. It was, I can't even remember if it was like DLC. It was like something like this origami shit. You had to like go through all these weird cryptic ciphers things, and you had to
wrong game.
But you had to like, I remember you had to go find stuff in the game to find these clues, go to a website, and like,
that was like a Nickelodeon show.
Oh my gosh, it was this weird thing.
One clue leads to another clue.
Yeah, it was so weird, and it was so tedious.
Go back and get them, man. Like 7 trophies. Just pull up your activity card and see where it's at.
7 trophies, and they're
works.
Not hard stuff.
Yeah.
They're really actually not hard stuff. So I'm definitely going to do it in platinum this game.
Did they make a guide for that one? Did it get I know it's in the era where they were still making guides.
It might have. I don't remember.
The Order had one, but you got the platinum from the Order earlier.
Oh yeah, that's a super simple one.
Yeah. Infamous guide. I'm just curious.
And then other than that, we finished Knack 2.
Hell yeah, game of the year.
Dream.
Me and my son finished Knack 2. Went through, got to the point where we found out what the head monk guy was doing, with all these robots. Mm-hmm. He found out a way to like supercharge them, power them up, and then we defeated all of that stuff. But then Nat gets captured at the end,
Damn it,
and Lucas comes to save Knack, and we found that the monk guy has now built this new thing out of all the old robot parts, and it is this giant. The only thing I can come up with is the movie Wild Wild West, the giant mechanical spider.
Yes.
It is basically that.
Jim West, Desperado.
Holy shit!
It is huge. It's this huge mechanical spider deal, and he's gonna like destroy this whole city with it, and but the story is very convoluted, and it's just out there. And like I've said before, the story on it is in Knack. Both games, it's probably the weakest point. It's out there. Yes. But
pissing off Mike Cerny's on here like, no man, come on. That was my swan song. I made that.
But all in all, it was actually really good. Knack 2 is a really, really good game.
You had fun with
I will give it that. It was so fun.
Game of the year.
sitting there with my son after we finished.
Is it more fun because you play with your son? I mean, if you look at it from can you explain if you played this solo, would this do it for you?
Probably.
Okay, that's what I want to hear.
There's that.
Because
that's the true test. I mean, if you can't play with family and friends, and you're like, all right, it was fun because I played with somebody I know.
We play some shitty games together and have a good time.
If I say if you can sit there and answer this game, we give Knack 2 a lot of shit, and I'm gonna play it one day. My copy's still sealed, I think. Yeah, Knack and Knack 1, 2 are both sealed. But I'm gonna play it one day. But you sold me on it where I might play it sooner.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can tell me that, all right, even though you have fun playing with your son, that it's just you would have that, you would enjoy that game as well. So that's all I needed to hear. Yeah.
And that's what it was. As soon as we finished and the credits were going, I looked at my son and I said, you know what? Knack 1 was fun and we enjoyed it. And it was, to me, it was more fun because I was able to play it with him and we were able to riff on it and talk about, the parts that were shitty and laugh at the parts that were funny and just have stupid puns and stuff to just kind of fill all that other time where we just weren't super into the game just because of the difficulty levels and whatever else. But this one, after we were done, I looked at him, I said, you know what? This game was really fun. I really enjoyed this game.
Made a good one.
And the gem only comes from beating this game. So we beat this game. We're talking about it while the credits roll. The first section of the credits finish. Game, the screen fades to black, and that little notification comes up at the top. And anybody that has a PS4 or PS5 is used to this. If they're playing a game and a cutscene comes up or something, where it says screen
capture,
screen recording has been disabled.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait,
a scene blocked. Yeah, block scene or something like that. Yeah.
So I'm like, what's going on? And so now we've gotten to a second part credits, and
Knack takes off his clothes.
Knack.
Oh god, if we're going that direction, please change the subject.
The music starts playing.
It's a dark turn.
The music is what is it? US 3 Flip Fantasia. And it's an old 1993. You'd know it if you heard it. I don't want to get demonetized.
Okay.
I mean,
not by them.
I'll frame it. I'll frame it up here.
After the podcast is done, I'll pull it up and you'll know immediately.
Okay.
But and then you get small Knack, middle Knack, or big Knack, and he'll pop off to different parts of the screen and he's dancing and doing all these crazy moves and stuff. It is the best fucking thing I've ever seen. It's one of those, so great.
Like the end of a Shrek movie or some bullshit like that.
Where yes.
They had that type of fun where they play music and they're just goofing off type stuff, right?
Yes.
Shrek is a good analogy for
Amen.
Knack games.
We all partake in the scriptures of Shrek, so we're all there. Yeah. I know the scriptures. I know the scriptures of Shrek 2 only. I don't know the scriptures of the other ones. I skipped the other chapters of the book.
You only need the first two. It's just like the two Knack games.
But yeah, it's Knack 2 is definitely some good stuff.
Genuinely good game, huh?
Yes, I would be out there begging for a Knack 3, but I don't know how they'd top Knack 2.
No, because I'm pissed that they make a Puppeteer dose. So
Puppeteer was great. Puppeteer was sacrificed so we could get Knack.
Yes, that's what we needed. That's what they Puppeteer 2. Nah, give them Knack 2. I mean, I don't know, man. I guess they needed Knack 2 to kind of end it on a good note, and I think they're probably satisfied. Ended it. It sounds like, based off what you said, it sounds like they could be satisfied. And okay, we delivered on we wanted to originally deliver for that Knack franchise? ?
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I know, Richard, you said you played it with your wife, the original Knack.
The first one.
I'd say get this. It's cheap. It's actually not an expensive game. I think I bought it sealed for under $20.
I think I have a copy too.
And you can sit down and enjoy it. It's so good. It really is. But that's it. That was my games played this week.
We made it. You made it to the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. The monster at the end of the show.
We did it, everybody.
I think that's it for us. We've been on for over 2 hours. Y'all got anything you want to add?
Wings 2. Buy it.
Oh. Beware of anime. new enemy anime. What was the thing from 14?
It was a summon.
Oh god, I messed
summon.
up my own callback. Let's get out of here. It's getting late. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this week, and we'll catch you next week. Bye.
Adios.
See ya.